I had a beat off.
I love lamp.
Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
I love lamp.
I had a beat off.
I couldn't think of a more horrible job if I wanted to. And you have to do it. You're gonna frack.
When they gaze upon Yosemites,
Eurymisia, the company that his son worked for, that's Eurymisia. To me, Corona means Italy. The Burmese executives, so this Eurymisia, they say, pronounce it Burmisia.
I don't read, obviously.
Baron is beautiful and he's free. Eurymisia.
Winston Churchill stood on the rooftops in London, very calm, making speeches. Winston Churchill. I don't read, obviously.
people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup.
Just looking around here, I can tell you're a genuinely dirty person.
Fighting for Iowa values. Fighting for Iowa values. Fighting for Iowa values. Michigan gave us Motang. Michigan gave us Motang. Gave us Motown, gave us the Mustang.
What's happening, people? How are you? I know I don't normally come on Sundays. I know. I recognize that. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta party. Sometimes, hypothetically, you've been working on a song all day, a song parody, a comedy song for the upcoming Sexy Liberal show a week from yesterday, next Saturday. Tickets available at sexyliberal.com. And you're so kind of gloating and proud of yourself, of the work that you've done, that you go, hey, why not just go ahead and live stream? Why not? Like I was saying, it's true, Sarah. I'm always on the computer. That doesn't mean I'm always on live streaming. It's just been a lot lately. It really has. So I'm doing all right. I'm holding it together. Hi, Carl. Yay, it's Carl, everybody. I just retweeted Joyce a little earlier, Carl. Carl, just so you know, I don't know if you saw that, but she's been on a streak. She's doing great work. Her posts are killing it. So yeah, I really need a Sexy Liberal off-campus party tonight. Yeah, that's basically what this is. I mean, I basically have just a, side lane. Also, we posted the Instagram thing for the Fly on my Twitter feed. She was going to open up her Etsy, and we just kind of jumped in there and did it anyways. So thank you guys for joining me. How are you this lovely Sunday evening? The president is in my state right now, my other state. I'm technically a Californian, but the California Nito. And but I spent a good deal of time, especially because of COVID, in Nevada. Not Nevada, as the president pronounces it, along with plasma. And if you'll recall, he had a big brain fart about Nevada. They pronounce it Nevada here. They're very firm about that. It's like, it's like pronouncing Louisville, when you go Nevada. And people jump all over you. And, thanks, Black Reggie Rich. Good to see you. I swear to God, when this is all done, I'm gaming for a week straight. Of course, the president, when he loses, will set the entire country on fire. So I will clearly have lots of things to cover. But the rest of the time, knowing full well that he's going to be leaving office by hook or by crook, I'm going to be just gaming nonstop for a week. But I am leading up to, and I think I've honestly settled on a 24-hour stream on Election Day. So You can have MSNBC on and all that kind of stuff as well, but I will be on your iPad or your other device for 24 hours straight. I don't know if it's a mistake, but it's a thing that's done on Twitch fairly often, but it will be a 24-hour stream, and it will be crazy. And what games? I'm basically going to be playing Avengers and Call of Duty for a week. Hey, Gonzo, what's happening? Look at this. The whole family's here. I should hang out more often on Sunday nights when you guys have free time. Hi, everybody over on Facebook as well. I have been cleared for subscriptions over there, so feel free to do that. And also, in theory anyways, there's a little thing where you can send stars. If you'll look at that in the comments section, you can actually, that's one of the ways that you, as a supporter, can be a supporter of the show, send a star. That's a little thing or whatever. And it's kind of like the stars and stuff that we have over here on Twitch, so you guys don't have to just kind of rely on the Twitch folks and the Patreon people who we love dearly and we greatly appreciate, and thank you, to support the show you watch. So there you go. So throw some stars in over there, you maniacs. I know some of you do it. So, Trump is in Carson City, Nevada today. And we'll see if he actually pronounced it properly. Yay, Queen Faye's here. Can't Stop Lying, good to see you. Hype train right out of the gate. Twitch gang rules. And on the 9th, I come out of YouTube jail, so I can start getting super chats that way again. So we'll go back to the regular channel, I suppose. Although I may... Yeah, we'll say, oh, hi. Oh, look at that. Coffee. This is lovely. Look at that. This is good. I'm going to be well caffeinated for this extraordinary exchange between us and yours truly. Summer ran out to get sushi for the kid and her, and they were watching the Steelers game today, and I think they won because everybody in the house seems relatively happy. Twitch.tv/HalSparks. Twitch is sort of a gamer streaming service in a lot of ways, but it's got a lot of things on YouTube, you know, as far as quality and content and availability and the lack of horrible copyright strike. That's what it is, a copyright strike. Copyright strikes, if you really think about it, you know, that are, are beneficial, and it's a great way to support the channel. And if you're an Amazon Prime user, you can subscribe to the channel every month and help us out, and it doesn't cost you anything. If you subscribe with Amazon Prime, it doesn't cost you a dime. This is fun. Aw, Ramona, look at that, sending out 50 stars. All right. Tracy also doing stars. Thanks, guys. I will set up a thing where eventually I can show those in the thing. So if I miss them on this run, let's see, I got to break out the chat room so I can see it over here or something. I'll figure it out. By God. Let me slide this thing over here so I can at least take a peek at it while I'm doing this nonsense. I'll do it like that. That way I can keep track if I see them. And if I miss them, I apologize. This is a whole new thing. Golda, thanks for the sending stars over there. That's great. I appreciate you guys over there. Look at this. People helping out and stuff, and everybody on the hype train, and it's good stuff, and I appreciate it. So, shall we jump in? He's in Carson City, Nevada today, because I guess Vegas was like piss off, and you can't use McCarran Airport hangars, and there's not a private airport because we have such a big airport here to land. He was here. He did a fundraiser. He basically came, got Sheldon Adelson's check, and then pissed off to Carson City. So yeah. Do you think Trump will make it to the next debate, to the last debate? That's a good one. That's a dice roll. I'm going to guess no. Mainly because of the people on his staff who will deny the rules and all that kind of stuff. Look at you guys sending the stars over there. Thank you so much. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, guys. Oreo Ozile is a troll. Okay, good to know. Thank you. We can broom them. Although we appreciate the trolls around here. They pad our numbers. And, and most of the time, they don't really have, you gotta forgive them. They don't have much in the way of brain pan. So it's, they're good. They're basically like, it's like playing bumper pool. They just exist on the table. Hey, Youngstown, Ohio, right on. Yeah, so he's definitely, yes, the tip jar is runneth over because of you guys. Thanks very much. Okay, so we're almost to a level 3 hype train. You guys are great. Look at this. Yes, Trump went to church today. That was hysterical. We'll take a look at that. But let's jump right in, shall we, to this nonsense? Of course, today, and I'm wrong, boogie boogie doo, and a point, and I don't fall. Yeah. So this is he can't, he gets up there, his timing's off, so he's got to wander for a minute. Mm-hmm. Yes, I've got to throw off the algorithm by singing so it doesn't pick the right note. Because that's what it does. It hears the notes, and then if it's proper, they were playing Phil Collins, even though they got the cease and desist.
What a crowd, what a crowd.
What a crowd, what a crowd. Okay, I'm gonna go with drunk. Hand job, hand job. I like the YMCA Doobie-Doo song. Okay, I understand that. Choo-choo, hype train.
What a crowd, what a crowd.
What a crowd. You know, that's exactly what I say when you guys show up. What a crowd. What a crowd, honestly. Let me just lean on this desk for a second. What a crowd.
You see what's going on the road?
Thanks,
all
Kelly.
the way up here? We have
Heidi.
people all the way up.
We got people all the way up, all the way up. You know, Jim Jones could draw a crowd.
I'll tell you.
I mean, you can't argue with the fact that David Koresh had multiple wives.
It was never like that for the last administration.
Connie thinks effects of a stroke. Could be, although that accounts for some of the brain drops that we see. The kind of brain farts he has. It does not account for his kind of like sassy, swaggery guy at the bar mood style that he's been throwing around the last couple of days. It's pretty telling. And he's not saying anything about being a teetotaler anymore.
Oh, I'll ask the guys that happened to be with me. They were with the last one too. They don't say much.
Yeah, they don't. Because they're doing their job and they work for the country, not for you.
It wasn't like that. They said, sir, nothing was like that. Nothing.
Yes, that's right. Obama did not have brown shirt weirdos wearing campaign merch everywhere. He just had gigantic, adoring, weeping crowds.
It's never like that.
Nobody had inauguration crowd.
You got the Trump signs and the flags and the American flags all over the place. Right?
Right, that's weird since I'm more of a Confederate guy.
All those American flags. Thank you very much. Hello, Carson City. Hello.
He's 74. How old am I? I'm 51.
It's great to be back in Nevada with the thousands of loyal, hard-working American patriots. Great people. Can you believe it? 16 days. 16 days. And you know what? 16
I'm already drinking.
days from now, we're
I'm gonna be on a party boat.
going to win the state of Nevada. We're going to win 4 more years in the White House. And we're going to
They just plug the state wherever he is into that sentence every time. It doesn't really have anything to do with the polls or how well they're doing.
keep it going. Early voting is underway, so get out and vote.
Get out and holy crap.
And they're getting a
Jesus.
little worried because certain areas, we know we're going to have a big red wave.
Uh-huh. You mean, hold on. Let's see if I can bring that one up real quick. I don't want to hide my chat room. Let's see. Scrolling back, give me just 1 second. Yeah, do, finding the thing. I should just go to my own page and just run there. There I go. Go there. Oh. The red wave thing I posted earlier is they posted a chart of the growing number of COVID cases in the country. See if I can find it. I was on a tweet binge because every time I would wait for my audio to render. Yeah, here it is. Here's the red wave that Trump is talking about. This right here. That guy. There's his red wave. Uncontrolled spread. Trending poorly. Caution warranted. This is your red wave right here. Yeah. And by the way, this is precisely, remember I said that, you know, the blue states would start getting a grasp on things and they would have a, you know, a more structured approach to this, and then the red states would be the ones that would really, really get hit. And it would be later and the growth would be slower, but once it started, it's everybody, because everybody in a small town knows everybody and the spread is really bad and the people there are not wearing masks and they're, you know, they're doing that herd mentality, man. That's your red wave.
We're going to have a tremendous, they know it. These fakers back there, they know it.
These fakers back there. You're not even trying for fake news anymore. It's just they're fakers. You don't really have a broken ankle. You just don't want to finish the game because your team is down by 7 points. Fakers. Fakers.
They know it.
They know it.
All you have to do is look at this crowd. When did we set this up? Like 2 days ago? We'll be in Carson City in about 2 days, and the people come out like crazy.
Yeah, I saw a pre-roll of the Right Side News, and there's shit tons of people from like Sacramento, California, you know, who've come up there. A bunch of the people from Arizona, like big-time Trump supporters, are all there or whatever. They're getting this deadhead crowd that's following them around. So that's padding the number everywhere they go, which, I mean, yes, those people have enthusiasm for him, but they can only vote once. You know, this is like watching the same boat parade 6 times and going, oh my God, look at all these boats. It's the same 9 boats over and again, over and over again.
And the people on the road, thousands and thousands.
Wow, we've cleared 400 patrons. We're at 405. Holy smokes. Yes, and Nevada has Biden up by 5 points, which is narrowly outside the margin of error. Theirs is 2.2 or 2.5 to 4.3 is their genuine margin of error, for real clear. So I don't trust it.
Because they couldn't get in.
So all they got to do is stay within that margin of error as far as the vote goes, motivate the vote, and then make it impossible for some people to vote.
It's pretty sad when you take an airport and it's not big enough, right? So
Carson City's airport isn't very big.
we have a problem. We have an airport. It's not big enough.
Well, that's because you're not allowed all over the airport. It's a hangar.
But you know what's happening?
Why?
So we have the big red wave is going to happen. And that's going to happen on November 3rd and a little before for the voting. But you can get out now, right, Michael? They can get out now and they can vote.
Yeah, have you got to leave.
Strange thing.
Oh my God, what is this bullshit? Hold on. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. What?
Michael, they can get out now and they can vote. But
yeah, not all of them. A lot of them are from Arizona and California. You can't vote in Nevada if you don't live there, just saying.
you know, strange things are happening in North Carolina. A lot of people are out there voting. You know, those lines are miles long. They're miles long. And they're wearing a lot of red caps. They're wearing caps, and they're wearing badges, and they're wearing those
No, they're not.
beautiful shirts.
Yeah, you're not supposed to wear any election gear when you stand in line, by the way. If you do, you're an asshole.
A lot of them, they love our country. They work so hard, but they weren't into voting for a long time. Then about 4 years ago, they went out, and now they're out, and I think even more so. There's even more enthusiasm now.
Yes, there was huge turnout when I lost by 3 million votes.
Than we had 4 years ago. Actually, it's hard to believe, and I'll say it for the fake news.
He's just going to hit the fake news a bunch of times because that's one of his rally cry things that gets them to boo. They always react like they're supposed to. It's one of his Pavlovian things. So I'm guessing there's going to be more look at this crowd and pointing at the cameras and calling them fake news as these go on because the speech is so tired.
A lot.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll give you an example. Michigan. In Michigan, we're supposed to be probably 80-20 with us on the back, but we're going to catch them. You know, everyone's expecting we're going to do well.
80-20 with us in the back, but we're going to catch them? 80-20. What?
We should, with all the auto plants being built in Michigan. Hadn't been built for 42 years, and now they're building them all over the place.
Yeah, it's just, I don't even know. You can't even move. Honestly, I don't know how the militia guys got time off of work at the auto plant to even plan a kidnapping.
They're building it. A lot of jobs.
A lot of jobs. So many jobs.
Had the best year they ever had. Michigan had the best year. They have a governor that's got it locked down, but now we forced it to open up. They ruled unconstitutional what she's doing. But here's what's happening. So in Michigan, it was supposed.
Yeah, they don't care. You're in Nevada. Talk to Nevada voters. Explain how you're going to help them out. Tell them how you understand both the entertainment heart of both Reno and Las Vegas as the primary economic drivers for the entire state. Some elements of the military bases that there and how you're going to take care of them. The electrical grid and how you're going to shore that up. How what the power and water needs of Nevada are going to how they're going to be benefiting from a Trump second term. I'm kidding. This is bullshit. He's going to be bitching about Nevada or Michigan.
They were going to take the big lead. Then we were like a racehorse. Then we were going to catch them with a big red wave because our people like to go and vote. They like to go and vote.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he means the early mail-in voting or whatever, and it's like 41-39.
But something strange is happening in Michigan. It's happening.
Something strange is happening. Oh.
But something strange is happening in Michigan. It's happening in other places too, but it's happening in Michigan because we're not at 20%. We're leading in the early vote. And that's never happened. That's never happened before for the
It's because your voters are older and they don't want to die.
Republicans. It doesn't work that way. Now, in all fairness, until I won Michigan 4 years ago, Michigan hadn't been won in decades, many decades by a Republican. But we won it, and now we should win it by even more because everything I said that would happen happened. All the plants, all the good economy and everything until the China virus came in. The plague from China. But now we're...
The plague. Oh, my God. It was fine. Everything was so good.
And how do I look, okay? Do I look okay?
No, you look horrifying. The picture of you this morning was terrifying, and you look like you've been repainted. Your hair looked like fiberglass. No. And you sound drunk. And if you're not drunk, then you need to be treated for another series of microstrokes. You, buddy.
Thank you.
Now they don't know which one to yell. Where's Rona? They're yelling USA, we love you, and 4 more years all at once. This is a cluster.
We're going to be appointing very pro-crime judges. Now, we can do things today that we couldn't do. We can do things today we couldn't do 7 months ago when we got hit with this thing. The whole world got hit with it. They should have kept it in. They could have kept it in. They protected their country, but they didn't protect the world or us, Europe. And we will never forget.
We're just going to keep selling them corn and soybeans and half our cattle.
We will never forget.
We'll never forget how much they pay for wheat.
We had just signed an incredible trade deal. The ink wasn't dry, and then we got hit by the plague.
I didn't realize
we will
food
not
was coming.
forget. But we were doing numbers like the likes of which we've never done before. 160 million people employed.
Jesus. Thanks, babe. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Thanks. Look at that. Very exciting. Mwah. Love you. She brought me sushi again. We went and got sushi for Ethan. Brought me some too. So you get to watch me eat again while we do this nonsense. Hey, it's Sunday. This is a relaxed show. Come on. Oh, I'll tip her. Don't you worry.
Best year you ever had. But almost all states. I can say it. I don't have
I just say the same line in every goddamn state and pretend they actually believe me. That's the trick.
to do a lot of research. Almost every state was having.
We don't have to do a lot of research. Listen to that shit. Wait.
But almost all states. I can say it. I don't have to do a lot of research. Almost every state was having the best year.
I don't have to check it. Just put it in the teleprompter. It doesn't have to be true.
We ever had. And then we closed it up and we saved over
Millions of lives just by not stopping Congress from doing their job.
2 million lives by doing what we did. You know, they don't like to say that.
No, you want to go back to what Savannah Guthrie said and what I've been saying this entire time? Which is, the 2 million number comes from if you literally were the Aztecs when Cortez arrived. Sorry. That's what you are. It's when the only way the 2 million number happens is if you're the Aztecs when Cortez arrives. You have no defense and you just let it go through and you're assuming it only kills that many people.
You did a great job.
If I do say so myself, but let me dance my way through
But
it.
we're now doing the vaccines. They're coming out very soon, very strong. Great companies, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, a lot of Moderna, great companies, a lot more than that. But they also have a lot of other things. And I would...
He lost track already. He lost his place. God damn.
But they also have a lot of other things. And I would, you know, they call them therapeutics. For me, it was a cure. I mean, what's the difference?
What's the difference? The cure works for everyone and has no side effects. A therapeutic works for a portion of human beings, and you hope it's higher than 50% or into the 80s zone. But for 20 to 50% of the people who take it, it doesn't work. Or it has limited use. Or it will kill you. That's why you don't call it a cure. Legally call it a cure, dipshit. Because here's the thing. Anyone who dies from taking the monoclonal antibodies thing or ends up with advanced rheumatoid arthritis in 3 years because it creates a havoc in their immune system later on. It's basically like chickenpox to shingles. It makes your body freak out. Anybody who experiences that can sue this asshole for telling him it was a cure.
Give me a definition.
I just did.
Because I wasn't feeling exactly, I wasn't like, oh, gee, I feel great.
I wasn't like, oh, gee, I feel great.
Okay? I hate to
Okay.
admit I didn't feel, I haven't been somebody that's had a lot of problems with that stuff. So I hate to admit it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I was not feeling great. Does that make sense to you? I wasn't exactly feeling the best. But the great thing is when you're president, you have so many doctors. I was saying to a group this morning, I said...
Yeah, we know. You say the same shit everywhere. I was saying to a group this morning that what I said yesterday and the day before and the day before. Johns Hopkins, Walter Reed, 15 doctors, they touched me everywhere.
I had 12 doctors around the bed, and everyone was grabbing a different part of my body. I did not like it. And they're all super geniuses.
Did they at least pop a Tic Tac? I mean, these people are stars in the medical field. And when they're stars, you let them do it.
But I was not feeling good, and then they gave me this.
I don't know what it was, like bourbon, but it was like sweet, and it was ice. I don't know if it was a margarita. All I know is I woke up 2 hours later and my pants were on backwards.
Regeneron, which is
A company, not a fucking drug, you dipshit.
an antibody.
It's an antibody, is it?
And great company, great company, tremendous success with cures, vaccines, other things.
Yeah, cures, vaccines, other things. You know, you have to look at their stock portfolio to really tell me what the hell. Is there anything this man has ever said that sounded deep or intelligent or coherent? Yeah, a lot of things. They were all written by writers on The Apprentice, and they were, or by the guy who ghost wrote the Art of the Deal, and he like has repeated them in places or read quotes from them. Maybe that does that qualify?
They actually came up with the Ebola drug, which saved so many lives. They came up with a lot of good stuff, and the other ones too. But this was one I liked because it just seemed to have a very good record. But it was
Of all the drugs they make, I was like, give me the one for the shit I got.
brand new, hadn't been tested, hadn't been approved or anything.
Yeah, we don't know what the shit it's going to do. I mean, I'm basically a guinea pig.
By the way, we're approving it for everybody that needs it, free of charge.
Yeah. So what does free of charge mean? Free of charge means that the American taxpayer is going to pay $100,000 per patient, and the patient won't have to pay anything, but the taxpayer will. Whether it works or not, we'll see.
It wasn't your fault, okay?
Nobody thinks it was their fault.
Eli Lilly makes a drug based on the same concept. Eli Lilly, great company from Indiana, great.
Oh, I'll be back on tour once things get better. Oh, count on it. With Nerd Halen in tow.
State.
Yeah.
Great state because I won it by a lot. You know, every state that I win by a lot or win by a little, we're happy with.
Everybody else you deny emergency services to?
By the way, we're leading, you know, in the state of Nevada. You better get out of it.
No, they're not.
Why wouldn't we be? But anyway, I took this drug. I wasn't feeling good. It's a transfusion, as they say. Like,
You know, it's a as they say.
1 hour. And the next day, I felt like Superman. I got up, I said, what the hell is going on?
Hey, asshole. You didn't feel that way because you took monoclonal antibodies. He says this a bunch. This is just ridiculous. Oh, nice. He didn't feel better because of the monoclonal antibodies. He's been living under this ridiculous notion for a while now. What made him feel like he feels is the dexamethasone, which he is clearly still on.
And the next day, I felt like Superman. I got up, I said, what the hell is going on? Whoa! I felt like Superman.
I felt like Superman. Honestly, this sounds like I'm slowing it down. This is stupid.
I said, come on, bring him on.
Oh, I
Bring
will
him
again,
on,
Tron.
whoever it is. No, I felt good, and I could have left. I wanted to leave the hospital then. They said, sir, could we have a couple of more days, please? But these doctors are great. I love you, too. I love you, too. Thank you. Thank you, honey. Appreciate it. Thank you. But these doctors are great, and we can do things to...
This is Josh the Great. Thank you, baby. Anyways. Jesus Christ. This is like watching Elvis's last shows.
7 months ago was unheard of, really. The whole antibody...
Seriously, except Elvis was actually charming. Give me 1 second. Elvis forgets lyrics. See if I can... yeah, here it is. This is what it reminds me of. Hold on.
The world just...
Hold on. Wait. Let me bring this over here. Hold on. This is what this reminds me of. I swear to God. Every time he does this.
The world's a stage, and each of us play a part. Plus tax. You read your lines so cleverly. You never missed a cue. Then came Act 2. You forgot the word. You seemed to change.
You ever see that stuff? I have to say, the difference is Elvis screws up the words, but the plus tax thing is frigging hysterical. honest to God, like, as dumb as this is, okay, and he's just drunk as hell. But I have to say, he was so out of it. Honest to God, I've been thinking about this clip since we started agreeing that basically Trump is drunk. You just watched that 2 hours ago? That's amazing. So this is the fact that Elvis screws the pooch so bad on these lines and then says plus tax, which is the all the legalese at the end of a commercial, is so good. It's so funny.
The world's a stage, and each of us play a part. Plus tax.
I mean, come on. That's a hysterical save. You just screwed it up really bad, and instead of like going, damn it, or getting mad, you just go, plus tax. I mean, come on. Drunk as he was, that's hysterical. So I give it up for the king in that situation. But is there a huge difference, by the way, between the crowd that Trump has right now, what Trump looks and sounds like right now, the crowds that Elvis had at the end of his life? Yes, that is a man who's comfortable on stage. And the people who believe Elvis was still alive, and the QAnon people. Remember that shit? Remember everybody was like, they saw Elvis at the Safeway and he didn't really die and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it reeks of those folks. Except for Trump, it's zero tax. That's a good point. Touche. Plus tax. So by the way, if you guys ever see me go blah, 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 plus tax, you now will get the joke that like up to this point, I felt relatively alone in getting. Sorry, I'm wrong.
Thing was what they've done is incredible with the therapeutics and all of the vaccines that you're going to see coming on board right now. So, I say you get out there and...
Yeah, Tracy, I saw that. It's so funny, the timing.
Things are opening up. Tell your governor to open up. Tell everybody to open up. I told Michigan, Michigan we sued, and they found her. It was unconstitutional. The only person that her state was opened up.
Unconstitutional?
I told Michigan, Michigan we sued, and they found her. It was unconstitutional.
Unconstitutional? Who needs the other T?
The only person that her state was...
Totally. That's what the illegal thing reminded me of, Norman Fox. The illegal, listen, plus tax. I was waiting for him to say plus tax. John Jr. has not shown up. John J. is not anywhere to be seen.
Or was her husband. He was allowed to go and sail his boat, do whatever.
Yeah, boating is socially distancing. What are you talking about? He didn't take it to a hair salon.
The hell he wanted to, but nobody else could do anything. They were like locked in a prison.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't.
It's very bad. That causes a lot of problems. That causes...
Suicides and drinking.
The alcohol and drugs.
Usually he goes to suicides and drug abuse. Weird, he just went to alcohol right out of the gate.
Drugs and depression and suicide, believe it or not. And the cure cannot be worse than the problem itself. So it can't be, right?
The cure cannot be worse than the disease. The solution cannot be worse than the problem. Jesus Christ, it's so aggravating.
It can't be.
I mean, I expected him to get it right before, but
if
now
you
he's
vote for me,
drunk.
And you know what's going to happen?
What's going to happen?
Let me change it. When you vote for me. So we have a lot of people here. Is there anybody that's going to vote for Sleepy Joe in this crowd? Please raise your hand. Please raise your hand.
Yeah.
Not too many. Not too many. Sleepy Joe. I can't even believe it. You should...
I can't even believe it. He's beaten me by 5 points in this state. Oh, shit.
Never even gotten the nomination. It was Bernie's nomination until...
I'm so mad I have to run against this guy.
Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas split up the vote.
We had this whole plan. We had the guys, our tracking polls showed that Biden could beat me. He was the only real guy that was a real threat. And God damn it, he goes out there and we had this whole fake social media thing to boost everything. And Elizabeth Warren, all she had to do was take the money and stay in for a little longer, and God damn it.
But let's change it. When you vote for me, prosperity will surge. Your taxes will be cut even further. I gave you the biggest tax cut in the history of our country.
Not true. He's been on for about 10 minutes or something.
The pandemic is
stopping it.
rounding the turn. It's rounding.
Is rounding the turn. Turning a corner, rounding the bend, has become... Let's just be happy he didn't say rounding the turd or bending the turd.
The pandemic is rounding the turn. It's rounding, and we have the vaccines coming, and they go crazy, the fake news. But I will tell you, it's rounding the turn.
We've done like 4 fake news things.
With or without, it's rounding the turn. You'll see.
With or without, it's rounding the turn.
Normal life. That's all we want. We want normal life.
He's already at this point in the speech. Are they just shuffling this shit around?
Right?
Nothing is landing. This is, okay. If you see Biden's stump speech, it sticks to some categorical points. It stays relatively the same. They infuse the beginning of it with local stuff. This is how you construct a campaign stump speech anyways. You have these pockets of things. You can't memorize a whole new speech every goddamn stop. So you're doing 2 a day sometimes. So it's like a comic. You have an act, and you've got these chunks of the act, and then you can thread throughout it local stuff based on the audience you're in front of. You can respond to things that happen, feed them back in, and that kind of stuff. And you can sometimes rotate the order of it. But basically, after a while, you lock it in. Like, this really works. This builds to a point. It really is satisfying to listen to. It gets the point across, and we know it works. They have been... he did 2 days on Hunter Biden. Remember that? And then he went to whole culture in Michigan. It was all culture war, which is all like, I don't know if he thought it was red meat for the militia crowd or what the shit that was, but it was he took the one thing, the little chunk at the end, and he just dumped it all over the whole thing and just rambled about it, and blew off everything else. And now he's just like, yeah, well.
We want to be where we were 7 months ago, right?
7 months ago. 7 months ago. He does know it's October, right? If he keeps saying 7 months ago, 2 weeks from now, it's going to line up with the original lockdown and the highest death rate. This guy is a dipshit. Yeah, we wish we were where we were 7 months ago. Deaths on the rise for the first time and just starting to spike. So we could live through this horror fest over and over again. What he means, and I this is just kind of occurring to me on the fly listening to this, because we've heard this bullshit a bunch of times. What he means by we wish we were back where we were 7 months ago, so that they could basically have a do-over at all the areas where they screwed this up. That's what he means.
Resume the Nevada tourism and hospitality industry, which...
See what I mean? Like, they're finally going to what the actual industry is here, what they actually do. Of course, it's not what happens in Carson City, but whatever. Reno.
It's fantastic. Will come roaring back.
Mm-hmm. No, it isn't. The entertainment industry is not going roaring back. You don't just flip on the lights and start a Cirque du Soleil show again after an 8-month or 10-month or a year-long stop.
And it will. And next year will be the greatest economic year in the history of our country for everybody.
No, it won't. No. It's going to take at least 2 years.
Unless somebody like
Thanks,
Sleepy Joe Biden wants to substantially increase your taxes and your regulations.
Sleepy Joe Biden is terrible, raising taxes on people everybody in Carson City makes over $400K a year.
We cut your regulations.
By the way, remember that joke that Trump used to make about how stupid Biden looked when he let his mask hang off his ear and didn't wear it all the way, and he would just leave it hanging on his face? Remember that running gag for a little while? He kept referring to that one. I don't know why that just came to mind.
To take up to 21 years to get a highway approved. Can you believe it? 21 years. You ever
Yeah, because it goes between multiple states. Jesus, we're already on this part of it.
see the big charts where it showed you have to go here, 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 then back? And take years and years. It could be 21 years, and then they get, not only that, 21 years, and then they disapprove it, okay? You know. How'd
No,
you
they
like
repeatedly disapprove it, and then they finally scuttle it because the states themselves couldn't agree on where it goes and how it goes.
to have that job? After 21 years, you're going for a vote, and then you lose 3-2, and that's the end of that. So a big portion of your life was trying to get something approved. And we have it down to 2 years. I think I'll have it down to 1 year, and it may be disapproved. If
Maybe. How many highway projects between 3 states, much less one that runs 5 states, or actually builds on any of this in any meaningful way, like that connects a big chunk of the country? How many of you believe that you could get one cleared across 5 states, through 5 state houses, through 5 administrations, all, different parties, maybe even if they're all the same party, based on where one state wants it to enter and where the other state and where they want it to exit, and where the other state wants it to enter and exit in 2 fucking years? Seriously, think about the planning of a highway that that goes across 4 or 5 states. You're going to get that cleared. Yeah, it's been infrastructure week. Seriously, what's a highway? It's yeah. What do you guys call them over there? A freeway. Yeah, that's right. You guys probably don't have any. Think about that for a second. 5 separate states running a highway all the way through them. If you don't get them cleared in 2 months, it's gone forever. The whole plan is scuttled. A motorway, you're right. Just pick Illinois, Minnesota, North Dakota, that direction, or just straight through, like the Iowa, Kansas, Arkansas kind of train, like right through the center of the country. Get all 3 of those states, or all 4 or 5 of them, to agree on the entrance point and the connectivity through the entire highway system based on whether or not they have big cities, where they're going to connect to, whether the zoning is there, whether they go through state lands or federal lands. If they go through the state lands, there might be constitutional issues within the state constitution. The federal constitution has, of course it takes a decade. And here's an idea. It should, because that's why we don't have a bunch of half-built, that's why we don't have ghost cities like China, or half-built freeways that go nowhere.
it's environmentally not good, if it's unsafe, it may be, but it's going to be 1 year, 2 years, and most likely it will be approved.
No. Nobody thinks that. Nobody thinks 5 states will get their shit together to approve a highway that goes in and out of their entire state for friggin' in 2 years, in 24 months, in 2 legislative sessions. You're kidding, right?
And it will get done. He wants to terminate our newfound energy independence.
No, we were energy independent under Obama.
And that's what he wants to do.
That's what he wants to do.
And fracking. You know, do you ever see this guy? For a year and a half, there will be no fracking, no fracking, no fracking. Then he goes to a great place, Pennsylvania, and they say, by the way, we have 1 million jobs for fracking. Oh, we will have fracking. We will have. And the fake news doesn't even talk to him about it. They don't ask him.
They don't like the gas.
Well, how come for a year and a half you said there's no fracking? And then as soon as you get the nomination, you say there's fracking. Remember Hillary?
Because you are a confused old man who's had a series of mini strokes, who can't tell the difference between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. I mean, that's honestly it. Like, he's looking at 2 different people and is quite confused, for the record.
She said, no call, no clean call, no call, forget it. Then 3 weeks later, she had to go to, no, him up, you mean him up, because you see what's happening with Biden? He is a corrupt politician.
Oh, this is here we go into the Hunter Biden stuff. By the way, I watched Rudy Giuliani's entire video about the evidence against Hunter Biden, and it's 38 minutes long, and it's claptrap for one. But I was hoping for more. I'll show you a piece of it when we're done.
Did you see Hillary? And then she goes,
Did you see Hillary? Jesus Christ, it sounds like a Stephanie Miller character.
he is a corrupt politician. But did you see Hillary? And then she goes to West Virginia, and she said, oh, well, actually, I like coal, but it was a little bit too late.
What is he talking about?
A little bit too late. She got record low numbers. West Virginia, great place. They don't like it when somebody says you can't dig coal. That was not good.
No. How about the dude from Murray Energy? How does he feel about it now that he is trying to get treatments for his black lung from the government?
But Biden wants to launch a socialist
He voted for you. He's going to be dead soon.
takeover of health care to cut our military budget.
Did you guys see, like, honestly, I mean, I don't want to retread most of this stuff too much, but think about this. The whole bullshit New York Post drop and all this stuff that they're really trying to push, and this is where his drug-addled, bourboned-up brain on painkillers goes.
He is a corrupt politician. But did you see Hillary? And then she goes to West Virginia, and she said, oh, well, actually, I like coal, but it was a little bit too late. It was a little bit too late. She got record low numbers. West Virginia, great place. They don't like it when somebody says you can't dig coal. That was not good. But Biden wants to launch a socialist takeover of health.
See what I mean? I mean, that was one of the biggest, that is their October surprise. And he buried it in, see Hillary, she went to coal in West Virginia and didn't even blah, blah, which I have no friggin' idea what he's talking about.
Care to cut our military budget, and he wants to cut it right to the bone. Well, the Democrats
Right to the bone.
do not like our military. They always, traditionally, we have built the greatest military.
Traditionally, Democrats don't like our military. Really? Really? When's what party has the guy at the top say that they don't believe POWs are heroes? Which one was that? Which party on there? And thanks, guys, for the stars on Facebook again. Bless you. I saw a few roll by. If you're just joining us, that little star button in your comment thing is a way you can contribute to the show. Just saying it.
Any time that we've ever had anywhere in the world. If you vote for Biden, he will surrender your jobs to China. He will surrender your future to the virus. He's going to lock down. This guy wants to lock down. He'll listen to the scientists. If I listened totally to the scientists, we would right now have a country that would be in a massive depression. Instead of, we're like a rocket ship. Take a look at the numbers. And that's despite...
Yeah, we're a rocket ship in terms of climbing death rates.
The fact that we have like 5 or 6 of these Democrats keeping their states closed because they're trying to hurt us on November 3rd.
Okay, this is him having it both ways again. Jesus Christ, we still do this all the time. So on the one hand, Biden's going to get in, listen to the scientists, and lock everything down. And on the other hand, Democrats in these states are locking them down, but they're only doing it to mess with him, and as soon as the election's over, they're going to open it up. For Christ,
But the numbers are so good anyway. They'd be even better. But New York should be open. Michigan now has to open because of the court case. North Carolina should be open.
There's just the swing states should be open.
Should be open. You guys, you want to open? Yeah, you want to open.
You guys, you want to open? Yeah, you want to open? Wow. Yeah, you mean Carson City? Uh-huh.
Pennsylvania has to open. I mean, we have places, and sometimes they're open, but they're partially open. They're not open like they should be. Get the places open. Let's go. Let's go.
Herd immunity. That's it. We're just all in on herd immunity, and if a certain number of people got to die, we're going to live with it.
But he'll surrender your country to the radical socialist left. You see that happening.
Sure.
This election is a choice.
I call it AOC +3, even though the progressive left, the faux-gressives are angry with Nancy Pelosi for stiff-arming them, apparently. Like,
Between a Trump super recovery, which we're in right now,
it's a super V.
or a Biden depression. You will have a depression. First
The
of all,
likes of
your
which we never
taxes
saw.
are going to be quadrupled. You will have a depression, the likes of which we have not seen since 1929. That's what's going to happen. And I'm very good at those things. You will.
Yes, you are good at wrecking economic factors. Is there a point in this where he actually predicted any of this bullshit? Thanks, Kathy. And thanks, Pat.
Have one of the great depressions of all time.
Thanks, Adrian.
Your taxes are going to go up. Your regulations are going to go up. Everybody's going to be leaving our country. All those jobs and companies that I brought in, they're all going back to where they came from.
Thanks, Kathy.
All he wants to do is raise it, even in the companies. Who wants to raise it for the companies so they go back to another location? They came because we cut taxes. Now he wants to raise their taxes. They will leave.
Is Amazon going to leave? Is that what you're worried about? You're suddenly concerned about Amazon or Tim Apple?
It's very simple. You know, it's one of those things. It's a choice between strong borders or no borders, between supporting
Strong borders and no borders. It's not a difference on immigration policy and understanding the difference between an asylum seeker and an economic immigrant and a migrant worker that has, that works temporarily or comes in on a temporary work visa or the HB1 visas or anything. It's not that. It's not an argument about the function of that. It's not the immigration bill that's been stalled in the Senate that would pass 96-4 today if it was put on the desk. It's not about that. It's about one party wants quote unquote strong borders and the other party just doesn't want any. Just screw it. Just really, honestly. I don't even know why we don't let the place flood with Canadians.
the police or defunding the police. Between delivering a vaccine in record time to kill the virus
Or killing people with a virus that was delivered too soon.
a Biden shutdown to kill the economy. On November 3rd, vote for...
Hey, can we play an ad so we can hit the bar? Sure, yeah. Hold on. I know somebody did actually give me a like an ad time one. I don't want to mess with it. If anybody's got to pee, you can always come back. Richard Custer. Hiya.
Jobs, safety, lower taxes, a secure Second Amendment, and freedom.
Second Amendment and freedom. Dude can't shoot a gun, never shot a gun. Okay, you know those kiss-ass gun videos that people put out who are running for office, like the uber macho AR-15 dickhead ones for the guys who are trying to get an A++ from the NRA, mainly just the Russian money, but you know what I mean. So they put out I'm running for Congress and nobody's going to take my gun away, and then they shoot targets that look vaguely like minorities, or a dog, and then that kind of stuff, or I forget which. Was it Joni Ernst? Who was it that did that shot a pinned duck that they just released? I hate those things. I think they're ridiculous. But I would finance Trump's gun shooting ad myself. Seriously. I gotta say, I would pay. Yes, Doug Pinnick rocks absolutely without question. I would pay to watch that Trump ad. Yeah, he can't cook, can't drive, can't shoot, can't swing a hammer, useless. Any physical activity, like he even looks dopey pulling the air horn on a semi. Yeah, I swear to God, we need to I will join the NRA if they will promise to make an ad with Trump shooting a gun. It does. I mean, I would love for it to be a big gun so he can show off, so he can try to, rack an M50 and fire it just to watch him fall out of the back of a pickup truck. But I would, and the handgun thing, no. It has to be a shotgun or an AR-15, and I need to have him run like the videos of Keanu Reeves where he shows off what he's learned doing John Wick. I want one of those. I'm so tired. It's so goddamn hot out here. Look at this.
There's a lot of people here. Look at that. Wow. It's a lot of
Yeah, we've done this one. Look at this crowd, huh?
people. I wish the cameras would show it. They never show it, right?
OAN does. Right Side does. They're not there to show the crowd. They're there to hang on your every word. Stop trying to distract the cameras to look the other way while you pick your ass.
They never show it. They show me. And you know what happens over my shoulders? About 3 or 4 people. 3 or 4.
Yeah, he'll knock his teeth out with a gun. No kidding. Oh my God. No, Trump cannot drive a car. It's one of the reasons why Biden put out the Corvette video that they put out.
They're always complaining, I don't see masks. I mean, there's a lot of masks on. A lot of masks.
Now.
They're corrupt people, but Joe Biden is from a
Gonzo, I said hi and you didn't say hi back.
failed and corrupt political class that enriched itself while draining the economic life and soul from our country. Guy's been here for 47 years. Isn't it amazing? I do something, he says, oh, I would have done it. He's been here for 47 years. Now all of a sudden he says, oh,
He's like, he's been president longer than I have. Like, this is so weird.
we should have done this when I closed and put a ban on China coming and heavily infected.
He called me xenophobic and racist. No, he called you xenophobic and racist and was concerned that you would put a travel ban on and then go golfing and have rallies and blow off all the other mitigating factors that the CDC was recommending through Dr. Fauci and the task force, and you did.
I saved thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of lives. He said I was xenophobic, I shouldn't have done it. Months later, he agreed it was the right thing to do. Now he goes out, I should have done it sooner. And yet he didn't want me to do it months later. These people, I don't know how
These people are sick.
they get away with it. You know why? Because those people are more corrupt than anybody. They don't even ask him. They don't even ask him.
What do you mean they don't even ask him? Did you watch the town hall?
For the last 47
Stephanopoulos actually, and by the way, George Stephanopoulos knew the answer to the question of what Biden did and what he released and how he stated it and his position throughout it and the plan that he released. And he still pushed the question because Trump wanted it asked.
years. They shipped away your jobs, shut down your factories, let drugs.
Your factories.
They shipped away your jobs, shut down your factories, let.
Factories. It's like Donald, the magical talking balloon.
They shipped away your jobs, shut down your factories, let drugs pour into our country.
Some words deserve more air than others.
And all over our great communities, and they ravaged our cities while sacrificing American blood and treasure in endless, ridiculous foreign wars in countries that you never even heard of.
Yeah. Again, this is this is one of those ones where they're he must do the you can't know more about geography than I do, and I've never heard of these places.
By the way, they're all coming back. They've been coming back. People don't like to hear it. People don't like to report it. They're coming back rapidly. He's a servant of the wealthy donors, globalists, and special interests who got rich bleeding America dry and putting America last. As your president, I could have been the greatest fundraiser of all time. You know, you see these numbers that they raised 300 million. You know why? When they raise money, that's a deal. They're making deals. I would be the single greatest fundraiser in history. I'll call up the head of Goldman Sachs. I'll call up the head of all these Wall Street guys. Most of them I know or know enough
Yeah, but they won't give me any money. What he's saying is, I have called them.
about. I know them all. I know them I know too much. And I could call up.
That is the least true statement he has ever said. I know too much.
Listen, do me a favor. Would you give $10 million to my campaign? Yes, Mr. President. Would you give?
Did you make a phone call like that to Sheldon Adelson? What does Sheldon Adelson want? He just gave you $76 million in the last weeks of your campaign. That's the biggest single donor of any candidate over the last 25 years. He gave that to you. You just got it last night. You got the check yesterday. And then you walked out on a stage in Carson City and insisted that the governor open the state?
20 million to yes, but you know, when you do that, you don't have to say anything. When they call you in 3 months and they say, we need help with this or that, it's, you know, very hard. Like sort of almost morally. They did for you and you did for them. It doesn't have to.
Yeah, it's immoral to take tens of millions of dollars from the leader of Goldman Sachs and not do what they say.
Be a deal or a quid pro.
A man who claimed to know too much, yeah.
Oh, like he had, right? Like he had with the $1 billion to get his son out of problems with the prosecutor.
He's kind of mixing them up. You know, when Hillary's emails came into Ukraine and Benghazi, which is in China, when the mayor of Moscow, Illinois, gave Rod Blagojevich a seat on the U.S. Senate for how much money? You know.
Right. And they never ask him about that either.
They don't ask him about the $1 billion that no one knows what I'm talking about.
But I would be the greatest fundraiser of all time, but I don't like to do that because it puts us at a disadvantage. And we never want to be at a disadvantage.
No, you never want to be at a disadvantage. You never want to owe $1.1 billion to God knows who that's going to come due in cash in the middle of your next term. And part of that debt includes Trump Tower in New York, which they're going to end up knocking your name off in 2 years if you don't magically come up with $200 million.
Easy though, think of it.
When you're losing $46 million a year on your property.
The president calls, he'll give me whatever the hell I want.
I mean, it's honest to God. It was annoying when they did it with Hillary, but it's like a bad version of when Elton John changed the lyrics to "Candle in the Wind," and you're like, all right, I understand. I mean, you're kind of rushing it because she died, but couldn't have written a whole new song. Thanks, Tasha.
In 2016, you voted to fire.
In 2016, you voted to fire
this corrupted and decrepit political establishment.
No, you didn't. No, they didn't. In 2016, Obama and Biden couldn't run again as that ticket, and Biden didn't run.
And you elected an outsider as president who is...
And you've regretted it ever since.
Finally putting America first.
Right? So true. Yeah, this is very boring. His speech is... Now, I mean, he's going to start talking shit in a minute again.
Joe Biden is, and always has been, a corrupt politician.
How was Eric's deposition? Did they bring up Ivanka's trademarks in China?
He always has.
What investments does Don Jr. have? Have you increased any of your holdings through the Trump organization while you currently don't use it or lead it? I guess Don Jr. is running it with Eric. Have they increased their investment portfolio to include any of the pharmaceutical companies or companies covered by the DPA? Did they buy Kodak out of nowhere?
And as far as I'm...
What's the industry in Carson City? Feed stores. I think Old West reenactments.
Concerned.
Hangins.
The Biden family is a criminal enterprise. It really is. Look at what's going on.
Look at what's going on, folks. What's going on?
It's a criminal. You know,
You know, just because he puts out 20 years of his taxes and fills out all of his holdings things and we know exactly where all of his money comes from, do you really believe that? Or do you believe that a man can owe $1.1 billion?
I don't know what's going on with the Democrats, a very powerful party, but it's not the Democrats. It's the Democrats plus the fake news media. And then it's also including big tech. Okay? Here it is. It's me. I'm all you have between your Second Amendment and chaos and all the problems.
Yeah, that's it. Just me. Not the Republican Party, not the principles of conservative values, not the American flag. Good God.
It's me.
It's just me. All you got. If you watch me become a drunk and decaying asshole, you're screwed, honestly. If I can't stay in office, forever. Hey, do they still have Civil War reenactments in the South? Oh, you bet.
And the Republicans, I love the Republicans, and we have some great, but they have to learn to stick together better. You know, we have some stupid people.
This is a good thing to do in a stump speech. Go into how Ben Sass is an asshole right now.
You know,
and Mitt Romney. Don't worry, you're not anywhere near Utah.
Stupid people. Some of them are gone. Flake, Corker, they're gone. But now we have this guy Sass, wants to make a statement. Little Ben Sass. The Republicans have to stick together better.
Wait a minute. Hold on, yeah.
You don't see that. One thing I respect about the Democrats, they stick together.
Is that what you do? Yeah. Is that what, mainly you're just pissed about it because you've been trying to divide them up? Yeah.
You know what? They have lousy
I yelled, you just lost the radical left.
See? They want open borders. They want sanctuary cities. They want they want to raise your tax. They want to quadruple your taxes.
Uh-oh. That was a little garbly. There was a little mucus in that one.
They want sanctuary cities. They want they want to raise your tax. They want to quadruple your taxes.
Quadruple your taxes.
But the one thing is, they stick together. The Republicans have to learn. They got to stick together. I don't know. And by the way, it's been that way for decades. I don't know what the hell is in the blood. Could you explain that to me, please, Michael?
Yeah, please. Explain, Michael. Explain that Republicans are a splintered body.
Huh? What?
Huh?
The blood. Could you explain that to me, please, Michael? Huh? What the hell is going on? It's been that way for many decades. I don't know. There's always.
I don't know what's going on.
They want to make a statement.
Did he say open booters?
It's just a bunch of wimps. Very interesting.
Wait, what? Is that a bunch of wimps?
I love.
That's a real podium slapper.
It's just a bunch of wimps. Very interesting.
Very interesting. What was that?
It's just a bunch of wimps. Very interesting.
Was that supposed to be very interesting? Does anybody know what he's saying there?
It's just a bunch of wimps. Very interesting. No.
Very interesting. I don't know what that was. Yeah, he's all over the place. He's just barely hanging on. Can you imagine being the teleprompter person? Like, what the fuck? How do you roll it back? I don't know. Where is he? Forward. Okay, back up. Shit. Back. I don't know where the hell he is. Back up. There we go. Hold. Okay. And I don't know what the shit that is. Okay, he's back. He's in culture war. Quick.
I love them. They've been great. Hey, look, on the impeachment hoax, I couldn't do better. The 197-0 in the House, Republicans.
Must be something in the blood. They're wimps, as the verse said.
And we even had the Democrat or two come and join us, right? That was an impeachment over a telephone call that was perfect. Other than that, think of that. But 197 to
now, please tell us about the call again.
nothing. And with the Senate, 52 and a half to a half. Who was the half? I can't think of it. Oh, Biden couldn't think. He couldn't remember the name, right? He couldn't remember the name. Look, you know the guy from, I think he was a governor, I'm not sure. Or now what? Is he a senator now? Yeah. What's his name? Mitt Romney. That's right. Oh, he didn't remember, which I thought was insulting to Mitt Romney. I wouldn't insult Mitt Romney that way. Okay? But Biden couldn't remember his name. You know, they've only known each other for about 35 years. No, Biden is gone. Let's not kid ourselves. We want to be nice.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
We're going to be appointing very pro-crime judges.
You know, Trump doesn't ever.
Michigan gave us Motang.
I mean, this is a guy who, whatever you want to say about Trump, you know, he never messes words up.
The Burmese executives. So this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese.
First Lady's doing great, and I would say fully recovered or just about fully recovered. But we are fully recovered, and I am.
For Iowa values.
Yeah.
For Iowa values.
The important thing is Iowa values, I think.
For Iowa values.
At no point does Trump ever flub anything, and when he does, he at least has the decency to admit it.
Michigan gave us Motang.
You know, and
We're honored to have with us.
Now, obviously, he would never mess up somebody's name.
We're honored to have
especially.
with us today our amazing Vice President Mike Pence and his wonderful wife Karen. Biden is Gonzo.
Biden is Gonzo. It's terrible, Gonzo. I wouldn't take that sitting down. No, he isn't. Gonzo is a fantastic person, but I mean, actually, it's a nice comparison now that I think of it. He's not gone. He's Gonzo. Gonzo's a decent fellow, right? This is. So we're going, and by the way, we're now going into the zone where if he throws a little dash on, yeah, we didn't do that one either.
When they gaze upon Yosemite,
you know, that he's been doing the death rate is perfecto.
Perfecto.
Yeah, that's what that was the word he used for our death rate.
It's going to be perfecto. You're going to frack.
Yeah, you know what? I will say Biden and Gonzo, both decent human beings.
Remember his name. You know, they've only known each other for about 35 years. No, Biden is gone. Let's not kid ourselves. We want to be nice. Biden is Gonzo. Can you imagine having Kamala? Most liberal member of Congress.
Oh.
The most liberal member of Congress. And I think that whole thing, that's why Nancy Pelosi is talking about the 25th Amendment. That's the real reason. They want to get him the hell out.
Yeah, it couldn't be that you're a slurry, drunken mess.
The Bidens make crooked Hillary Clinton look like an absolute amateur. It's true. And she's pretty bad. And
By the way, he insisted on putting this in the speech. They've added this. That he makes them look like he makes Hillary look like an absolute amateur. And again, what's an amateur crook? What do they have, an intern program? This is so stupid. Oh, we have Motang, don't worry.
Michigan gave us Motang.
I like his save or his attempted save at the end.
Michigan gave us Motang. Gave us Motown, gave us the Mustang.
Gave us the Mustang.
I want to hear from law enforcement. Why aren't they looking at? Maybe they are, and I hope they are. You know, I try and stay out of it because I'm trying very hard to be so right down the middle. But
yeah, that's what you're doing.
Why aren't they looking at the fact that she got a subpoena from the United States Congress for 33,000
Jesus, we're doing Hillary's emails again?
emails, and she deleted every single one of them.
No, she didn't. They reviewed all of them. We looked at this before. We've done this a bunch. Yeah, and he's still running against Hillary. This is the weirdest thing. The Christopher Columbus screw up? Yes, I think we have that. somewhere. Hold on, let me see if I have that. Well, I certainly do have it. Hold on. This is it's not in my soundboard yet, so hold on. I gotta find, and no, it's in the Twitter. I'll find it in a minute. Hold on.
And then acid washed them. And then she pounded her telephones with a hammer. I've gotten rid of cell phones and I just throw them away, you know. Now I.
Yeah. Let me guess. After you're president, are they going to keep your phones in the aliens one? Can't Stop Lying. Do we have that one? I think we do. I think we grabbed it.
Throw them into the Secret Service. Okay, I give them back.
Yeah. And then what do they do with them? They bleach bit them and they destroy them.
Before this, I throw them away. I get a new one, right?
Right. And Michael Cohen kept them, and that's
pounded the crap out of them with a hammer. How many people have gotten rid of your cell phones and pounded them to death with a hammer?
Anybody with a crazy ex?
So I just want to know, why aren't they looking at that? Why
aren't they? I mean, it's been, I guess the easy answer is they did, and they didn't find shit.
They're looking at that. Why aren't they looking at Omar? Ilhan Omar.
About what?
But the biggest of them all is Joe.
We're just throwing that in? Like the FBI should be looking at Ilhan Omar? Because what?
Corrupt. And they found the
Thank you guys, by the way, for subscribing on Twitch. Love you for that. When we got ditched by YouTube, we had 14 subscribers. And I appreciate you guys jumping over. And the folks that have been helping out, especially by gifting subs to people, bless your heart. Thanks.
Laptop. You know what they call that? The laptop from hell. That is a laptop. That's a laptop from hell. Let's see what.
The laptop from hell. That's what they call it.
Happens with.
I mean, honestly, we'll see what happens, but I don't know, but we'll see what happens. You mean the massive forged hard drive that with files that Ron Johnson brought back from Russia last year on his 4th of July trip, when he spent the 4th of July as a U.S. Senator in Moscow having private meetings with Vladimir Putin, and then this hard drive shows up a couple of weeks later and gets given to the FBI after it's given to Rudy Giuliani. The FBI looks at it and goes, there's nothing here, this is all fake bullshit, and Rudy Giuliani sits on it until 2 weeks before the election. You mean that laptop?
That is a laptop. That's a laptop from hell. Let's see what happens with it. Let's see what happens with it. So a giant.
Nothing. I mean, honestly, this is your big October surprise, and this is the way you're framing it.
Of emails.
Apparently another hard drive has just shown up today. Of course it did.
Show Hunter Biden making deals, setting up meetings with his father, Joe, and using the office of the vice president for a for-profit cash machine. That's what it is.
Is there a non-profit cash machine?
This guy's a vacuum cleaner.
I love this. He's a vacuum cleaner. So he cleans things?
Follows his father around and takes millions, hundreds of millions, and billions of dollars out of these countries. I mean, that is so disgusting.
You do realize the money that they take out, they manage, and the money goes into other countries. That's what, they're an investment firm.
That's so crooked. He is, no, I call him the human vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, and nobody knows what the shit you're talking about. Thanks, Robert.
Right? You know those things on television?
Yeah, vacuum cleaners. Those things on television. Jesus Christ. Why don't you do some more like gilded life moments? That's how most of these people in Carson City think of a vacuum cleaner, as those things on television. Holy shit. Are you just never in the room when people clean? I mean, obviously he's never vacuumed anything or cleaned anything in his whole goddamn life, but he just isn't even present when it happens?
A human vacuum cleaner, right? You know those things on television? He's better than any one of them. Joe.
You know those things on television? He's better than any of them. Well, congratulations, Hunter Biden, for cleaning up messes. And even if those messes include Fruit Loops and tax and change and cat dander.
Biden said he knew nothing, but he lied because I'm telling you, this laptop is a disaster.
Yes, it is. The whole thing's a disaster. It's not working for you. It's garbage.
Fake news and big tech don't want to write about it, though.
They don't want to write about it.
Want anything to do with it, and they punish. And thank you to the New York Post. It's unbelievable with it.
By the way, yes, it's unbelievable. Although I will say that the New York Post doesn't. Half the newsroom apparently was against this too, and wouldn't put their name on the byline.
You know, it's the fifth or fourth largest newspaper, so you'd call it the mainstream, not the lamestream, but the mainstream media.
Okay. Lamestream is a joke on mainstream, made by people who believe that the non-mainstream sources, the top, I guess below the top 10 networks and newspapers are where the real news is, and then okay.
But it's I guess the fourth largest. It's the oldest newspaper in the U.S. I think it was Alexander Hamilton founded it, right? And they should be very proud.
It's owned by Rupert Murdoch.
What they're doing. Because the New York Times refuses to write about it. And the fake Washington Post, which is a total fake, that's a lobbyist for Bezos and the group, okay?
Lobbyist.
For Amazon. But he calls it the lobbyist. He must call it that. I call it the lobbyist, okay?
That's what you call it. That's his nickname for the Washington Post. He must call it the lobbyist because I call it the lobbyist. Jesus Christ. Look, the Inquirer got shot down, and David, the best named editor in publishing, Pecker, lost his ability to launder stories for Trump at the Inquirer. So the next stop was Rupert Murdoch doing it for them at the Post.
You own the Washington Post, you have a little power. It's a free lobbyist. Although it's probably not a free one. It probably costs him a fortune. But it gives him what he needs. But it's fake. And if you look at NBC and MSDNC.
See what they did there? Huh?
Right? And if you look at ABC, how about Stephanopoulos the other day? Right? He interviewed me 2 weeks ago. He gave me a tough interview, but I didn't consider it unfair. Although it turned out the audience was stacked against me,
Aw, poor baby.
There were some Trump people and some Biden people and some, well, no, it didn't work out that way, did it? And actually, they were very nice, right? The one woman said how handsome I was. The one woman. No.
That wasn't at the Stephanopoulos thing. That was Savannah Guthrie.
It's true. I'd rather have that than have her say, you're a wonderful politician. The hell with that. I'd rather have her say, what's better than that, right, Michael? You're so handsome. You have such a great smile.
Still digging on that.
But see, here's what happened with her. She was so nice, but she was supposed to be like, I think, a former Hillary supporter. But the way she said it to me, it was so nice. And then, after the show, and she said it, right? Did anyone see that? It was so lovely. And then after the show, she went rogue. I wouldn't vote for him. In other words, they said, wait a minute, this isn't the deal here. What are you doing? I'm sure that the Democrats, together with their partner, ABC Television Network, said, what the hell happened with her? That's a terrible thing that she did. So I'm sure they hit her very hard, and she got back in line.
She was on NBC. That was the Savannah Guthrie thing. It wasn't somebody during the George Stephanopoulos interview that he did before. And the woman was asked, would she vote for him after that? She's like, no, I was just being complimentary or something like that. She went rogue, is what he's saying. He doesn't even know what network he's on.
Okay. But I think hopefully her first statement was the statement she believed. He's a handsome man.
No. You're not buying it. I'm not buying it.
See now, the fake news will say President Trump went on a rant talking about how handsome he is. They don't understand.
They don't understand? No? What don't they understand? Tell us.
He went on a rant. It was a terrible thing. We don't think he's handsome. Actually, they think I must be the most unattractive human being they've ever seen. Except what they don't realize is without me, they will have ratings that will nosedive. They'll go out of business, every one of them.
I agree. I think Empire Strikes Back would be, well, I mean, I think the Star Trek franchise, quite frankly, overall, wouldn't be, everything it could be without Jabba the Hutt. It may not have been a primary character, but I think he really locked it down. And I just think that,
What?
I mean, Return of the Jedi really hinges on Jabba.
I'm making this speech a little bit longer, then I'm looking at this crazy Nevada sun, and I'm sitting here with his white skin. But who the hell cares if I get a little sunburn, huh?
What?
They don't want to write about or report on the scandal.
Yeah, get back to the New York Post thing.
Because they want Biden to win. I've always said, in the end, they're going to all endorse me. Because if Biden wins, they're out of business. This is the most boring human being I've ever seen.
You do realize there's other things to deal with in life. There's a lot more to report on. I mean, even just dealing with climate change and dealing with energy and dealing with technology over the next 10 years is going to be a full-time job for the media without having some bloviating asshole blowing up Twitter every day.
But they want Biden to win so they can take over our country.
Oh, that's why. So MSDNC is hoping Biden wins so they can take over our country. There'll be it will become Rachel Maddowstan.
Because they will take it over between big tech, Section 230, by the way.
Section 230, by the way. Thanks. Nobody knows what you're talking about, dude. You have to explain it to them. And he will.
Between big tech, Section 230, by the way. All right, go ahead.
Do it.
No. No, it'll be one of the great disasters. I'm telling you. Depression. Just remember the word. And you know it.
What? You brought up Section 230, by the way. They start yelling, "Take it away, get rid of it." And he has this brain fart. What is this?
I'm telling you. Depression. Just remember the word.
What? Wait, watch his reaction. Hi, Trancer.
No, it'll be one of the.
Wait, I got to back up to the point where he actually brain farts.
230.
This part.
By the way. All right, go ahead. No. No, it'll be one of the great disasters. I'm telling you. Depression. Just remember the word. And you know it. And California, are you from California? You do.
Yeah, a bunch of them are from California. They came over from Sacramento. That's where all and Nunez in Stockton, the Nunez districts. They all came over to see this. They brought a bunch of them over to fill this out. Does anybody get what the shit he was talking about?
You do. You do. Come on, Gabe. Let's go, Gabe. Come on, Gabe. I just left. I'll tell you what. So I just left California.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in a place that was sort of Republican.
Sorta.
But I was with a wonderful reporter. I just spoke to him from the Washington Times, which is a really good newspaper, by the way.
Oh, yeah, they're the ones who paid for the Steele dossier before the Steele dossier, when you won the nomination, decided not to publish it because they were going to use it to stop you and because they were supporting Jeb Bush. And then they sold it to the Clinton campaign, and the Clinton campaign took a look at it and went, well, this is horrible and he seems disgusting, but we think we're going to win and we don't want to use this. So thanks very much, but we're not going to do anything with it. And Christopher Steele went, holy shit, they just bought this thing. I'm afraid they're going to bury it. So he went to the FBI. But the Washington Times paid for the Steele dossier and the PP tape story, just for the record.
And he reported very strongly, the crowds were unbelievable.
No, I don't think I said Star Trek. I said Star Wars.
Unbelievable.
Didn't I? And if I did, I was clearly mistaken.
I don't know why we wouldn't win California. We're playing it a little bit. In theory, you're not supposed to be able. But they have everything against them. High crime, homeless. They don't take care of their homeless. I tell Nancy Pelosi, come back to San Francisco and take care of your homeless, Nancy.
What's your plan for homelessness? What's your plan? What's your as a president, nationwide, homelessness is an issue. It's an expanding issue, especially as people are losing their homes and their apartments because of COVID. They don't have jobs, so they can't pay, and they're getting evicted. And you haven't given them eviction protection in a lot of states. So what's your nationwide plan for homelessness?
The endless forest fires, they're endless.
Yeah, in federal lands.
I do. I like the governor, but I said, do you ever stop with these forest fires? Can you ever stop?
Can you ever? Yeah, that's what it is. Gavin Newsom, will you stop setting forest fires? You're the governor, not our arsonist in chief.
They got to manage the forest, you know. They talk it's
God.
It's all sorts of reasons. They got to manage the forest. Manage it. It's called forest management.
Jesus. Oh God. This is a run.
Forest, you know.
With
these forest fires, can you ever stop? They got to manage the forest, you know. They talk it's all sorts of reasons. They got to manage the forest. Manage it. It's called forest management. But they got to stop. They got to stop. And now they have a new thing. They're running out of water.
Oh, we're going to go on the smelt thing?
And you know, they've run out of electricity. They have brownouts, blackouts. What's going on? And a lot of people are leaving. They're leaving for Texas. They're leaving for Texas. They're leaving.
Yeah, you mean Joe Rogan?
For Florida. They're leaving for places that are really well run. But it's very interesting. A big thing the other day. They're going to ration their water in California. And I felt so badly. I called up and said, oh, do you have a drought? No. You know what they do? Millions of gallons an hour come down from the north, pour down, pour down. So they have so much, right? They have so much water, but they route it into the Pacific Ocean because they have a smelt, right? Is it a smelt? How's that for a memory? Good?
What do you mean? It's been part of your stump speech for months.
No problem there. Ask.
Whoa.
Ask. How's
no
that
problem.
for a memory? Good? There's no problem there. Ask. Smell it. It's a little.
Because you can remember smelt.
Tiny fish. And it's been having difficulty over the last long time. With water, without water. It's having
no problem there. It's been having difficulty over the last long time.
Difficulty. But they want to save the smelt. And in saving the smelt, they're destroying human lives, right? And they're destroying the farmers. And even Los Angeles, the homes. So they have a thing where they're bringing it down ultimately to 42 gallons a person. And that sounds like a lot. Look, if somebody said you could have 42 gallons a person, I think a day, that sounds like a lot of water, right? It's not. It's like a quick shower and let's wash your hands. Then they have a mandate, wash your hands at all time. You must always, constantly wash. Then they say 42 gallons. I say, wait a minute. Okay, I got a deal. I won't take a shower for the next couple of weeks, but I'll wash. No, it's true. So 42 gallons, it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. A friend of mine, he has this massive house. He says, I'm not going to be able to take a shower. I live in a house, this gorgeous house, right? Can't take
tell us the story again. Tell us how he vacuums it. Does he use one of those things on TV?
A shower. Wash your hands every hour, every 15 minutes. You know what I did? I'll tell you this crazy story. So you know what bothers me? When you go into a new hotel or a new house, they have these faucets, right? And you turn them on, no water comes out. even if you live in like North Carolina, you live in areas where, up in New England, most of our country has so much water we don't know what to do with it. The problem is, how do you get rid of it? But they do for...
That's the problem. How do you get rid of it?
Like the desert, like here, but they do for areas that are a little bit tougher for water. But even you have the water, so they do it.
Oh, I didn't realize Nevada had so much water. Where do we have all this water from?
So they come up with this one regulation for all over the country. So you go into a hotel or you buy a house, and they have what's called a restrictor. Right? Look at it. They're all nodding. Same thing, by the way, same thing with your dishwasher. I freed that up too. The dishwashers, they had a little problem. They didn't give enough water. So people would run them 10 times. So they end up using more water. And the thing's no damn good. We freed it up. Now you can buy a dishwasher and it comes out and beautiful. Go buy a dishwasher. Go buy it. Those companies. I said, what's wrong?
Honestly.
With this thing, it doesn't clean the dishes, right? The women come up to me. The women who they say don't like me, they actually do like me a lot.
Christ. Oh, thanks, Norman. Jesus.
Suburban women, please vote for me. I'm saving your house. I'm saving your community.
From poor people.
I'm keeping your crime way down. I keep hearing, no, they keep, it's all fake stuff. Remember they said last time about women. Women will never vote. He will never vote for Donald Trump. They'll never vote. Then at the end of the evening, they're all crying, oh my God, what happened? Remember John King? What's going on over here? The red. He won Florida. Oh, he won Florida. It wasn't that I won Florida. I won it like fast. And by the way, we're way up in Florida right now, too.
Well, then why do people even need to come out? I mean, if you're a Trump voter, apparently, according to Trump, just coast. You probably don't even have to vote. He knows you like it. Just go voting.
Because we've done a great job. Okeechobee, we've done a great job for Florida. We've done things for Florida that nobody thought could ever be done. But anyway, John King, so he's up there. He won Florida. Oh, well, that was quick. But the big, when we won Ohio, because did you ever hear for a year and a half, when we were thinking about doing this, you cannot win unless you win the great state of Ohio, right? You heard that 100 times. They were doing that for me. Shtick. And then I get these polls. I had great people in Ohio. They said, sir, you're going to win Ohio.
So this is a great story.
You don't even have to come back. You're going to win Ohio. By the way, they said that to me again just recently. But they said you cannot win. So we end up winning Ohio by 8 points. And it wasn't that we won Ohio, but the polls closed at 7 o'clock. And at 7 o'clock and 1 second, because, unless you win big, Michael, right? You have to, they keep you waiting. So
that's what they do. They keep you waiting.
Oh, the polls have closed in the great state of Ohio. Donald Trump has won the state of Ohio. They kept saying I was even.
Yeah, so it says you're even right now. So, honestly, do your people need to work that hard?
Yeah, groups, they said I was down. I'll tell you how accurate their polls were 4 years ago. I was down in 9 states the day of the election. I won all 9 states.
Let this be a warning to every voter.
Okay. Right? Other than that, they were quite accurate. Actually, this time they're much better. You want to know the truth. This time they're actually much better. No, but we're doing much better. And as I said, we have much more enthusiasm now. But anyway, getting back to my very boring story about faucets and dishwashers.
Oh, starting to catch on.
So I said to the head, I called up, great dishwasher company from Ohio that we saved, by the way. I said, what's the problem with your dishwasher? Well, they don't give us any water. It'd be nice to be able to get enough water. What's the problem? We need more water. Not that much, but I said, how much you need? This. Would you like more? Well, I'd love more. Would you give us more? Yeah, I'll give you more. You have so much water, you don't know what to do with it, right? So we gave them what they need. And now the dishwashers are incredible. They work beautifully. And you go one time, and you come back, and your dishes are nice and beautiful and clean and dry. You don't have to go 10 times. The same thing with the restrictors in the faucet. So
I honestly, we've heard about this with the shower head, and now he's just going off on this weird.
I hate to say the 3 things. It's the
yeah, please. But go ahead. It's not like it's boring. Everything
shower. It's the sink, and the 3rd element in the bathroom. But I don't say it, because every time I say it, they only talk about that one. Because
You mean the toilets that don't flush?
it's sort of gross to talk about, right? So I won't talk about the fact that people have to flush their toilet 15 times. Okay? I will not talk about it. I'll only talk about showers and, okay, but there is 3 things. I won't talk about it.
Jesus.
It's where they can't report it. So what happens?
This is your president, by the way. This is the president of the United States.
So what happens?
This is the president of the United States. This is a grown man who is allegedly the head of a company, and he's currently president of the United States.
Oh, my people, environmental people, why are we doing this? Because when you wash your hands, it takes you 5 times longer. You know, the water doesn't come. You got soap, you can't get it off. I said, open it up. They said, what do you mean? Take the restrictors off. People know. And if you're out here, you got to be careful, and you got to do all the things you've been doing anyway. Take the restrictors off. And you may leave it in certain areas where you might need it, but most of the country.
Jesus Christ. That's exactly what happened. Is that if you buy certain machines in certain states because they have droughts, they have the restrictors. Other states don't.
Big portion. It doesn't need it. Then on the shower, the worst. You ever get under a shower where no water comes out? And me, I want that hair to be so beautiful. Right? Right? It's true. It's true. I want the hair to look good. I go into some of these hotels, you know, you travel, and I go into these hotels, new hotels. They do a nice job. It's not their fault. And I get in there, I say, oh, I can look at it now. I know everything. I say, oh, here we go. Turn on the water. Drip, 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 drip.
Is that how it works in the presidential suite?
But now, you go into a shower and the water pours.
Thanks, Gail.
Out. You go into a sink and you
Sure.
can wash your hands very nicely, beautiful. And the
Honest to God, this is going on forever.
third thing, don't worry about. Okay, we won't talk about it. Just one time, that's all.
It's like a Christian comedian, just poop jokes and little. Doesn't it bother you when?
So I'm not just running against Biden, but you watch. They'll be talking about the third thing. They won't. I've done this before, and they never.
Yeah, they mention it when you talk about having to flush the toilet a bunch of times, and when the majority of people, that's not real high on their list of problems, and they don't have that problem, but they also don't sit on the shitter and tweet for 2 hours.
We talk about sinks and showers.
Yeah, he's drunk
So I
again.
never talked
Bill.
to you. You'll see how dishonest they are. But I'm running against a left-wing media, big tech giants, and a corrupt political class, and a corrupt Democratic Party. You saw what they did. They spied on my campaign.
No, they didn't.
And got caught.
No, they didn't.
They tried to take down the President of the United States.
Where's Bill Barr? Where is he? Ever since Bill Barr dropped his "There's Nothing to the Unmasking" story, he hasn't been seen.
But they went after the wrong president. Let me tell you.
Charlie, I didn't get stuck doing this on somebody on Facebook is saying, how did I get stuck doing this? I chose to do this as a civic duty. Nobody has to be here. I'm just trying to get us through this. Our president is saying things in public, and somebody's got to keep track of it. So by God, but I'm not going to just let it roll through without checking some shit.
Something. I really believe this. Somebody said it just today. Any other president would not have been able to withstand what we've done. They'd be in a corner with their thumb in their mouth saying, please take me home to mommy, please. These people are evil. Even today, you know, Shifty Shift.
So this is how we know that at some point, Donald Trump was in a corner with his thumb in his mouth saying, please take me home to mommy. We now know this because it's in line with his projection. This is what he does. Thanks for the stars, everybody over on Facebook. Thank you guys for the bits and the cheers today. Thank you very much.
So, did you hear the new one? I was waiting for this. So they find this horrible
laptop
of Hunter. Where's Hunter?
Did they find it?
Where's Hunter?
Where's Bill Barr? Where's Eric?
But Joe is far more corrupt than Hunter, because Joe knew Joe's getting a piece of everything. They have it in the email, 10%. And
jealous.
50%.
No, they don't. By the way, I would like to see the metadata, please, from the entire hard drive. I think you need to post that online and a schematic of the actual drive and all the contents all at once in one big chunk without printing it out. Because anybody who believes a printed out email and a photograph of a printed email is legit is selling something, a moron, or a complete psychopath. And of course, we have all three here.
But Joe is far more corrupt.
The laptop has not been authenticated. The contents have not been verified, and none of it is real. And all the salacious stuff that's on it, I'm going to go with it's off of. They just cut and pasted and swapped out Ron Johnson's name.
Than Hunter. But what happens is they say, "Where's Hunter?" And they see what's going on.
Is that what they do? Listen to this gibberish. Hold on.
But what happens is they say, "Where's Hunter?" And they see what's going on. Everybody's looking for him. Everybody wants to find. And all we're hearing is that you can't talk about this kind of thing. You can't talk. Can you imagine if that were Don Trump Jr.'s laptop?
Yeah, where is Don Trump Jr.'s laptop? Can we see his?
Or Eric Trump, who's such a fun. These are good kids, but they have just been brutalized by these maniacs. Or what about our?
I'm sorry, I brutalized him. So it's my fault he showed up, coked out, red-eyed, giving a weirdo speech at the RNC. That's my fault. I see.
Ivanka Trump.
It's my fault that Eric thinks that skating on your family name is should be a criminal act.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I can imagine it. I'm imagining it right now. I'm imagining Don Jr.'s laptop being found by someone with all the files that are in it. And I'm sure you would just let it get released.
Tiffany. Even Barron, right? Barron. You know, Barron.
Don't drag him into this. He's a minor.
No, they're all good kids. But could you imagine? You know, Barron had the problem.
The problem?
Okay? He got healed in about 15 seconds, right? You got to understand that. You know, the young kids, was it 99.9 something? They said Barron tested positive. Even I wasn't worried. You know, he's strong.
Even I wasn't worried. Really? You're not worried for your child who has a disease that has killed young people as much?
He's definitely tall. He's tall. And he's a
well, I hear the security guard at Tiffany's in Trump Tower is a very tall guy.
Kid. He's a good kid. He's a smart.
Just saying, I mean, I don't know if that's related in any way. I didn't mean to use the word related. I'm just saying it's something that it's just if they stand next to each other, never mind.
But they said, "Sir, Barron tested positive." At first she said, "Oh." I said, "Well, is he okay?" "Yeah." "Are you going to give him anything?" "No." Like 2 seconds later, I said, "How's Barron?" "Oh, he's all set. He beat it."
By the way, in the original telling of this story, he was speaking to Barron. Now, in this version of the story, he is talking to someone about Barron. This is a reversal of a normal Trump technique, which he starts with I just talked to somebody about my kid, and now let's pretend I talked to my kid to make it, because somebody said, it sounds a little shitty. But tomorrow, when we see this speech again, he'll say that he talked to Barron.
I hate to say it, they have a much stronger immune system than we do. I hate to say that. You know?
Why do you hate to say that? I mean, you could hate to say the immune system gets weaker when you get older, but why would you be sad that kids aren't affected as much?
I said, "Congratulations, Barron." I said, "That was quick." I said, "How did it feel?" "I don't know." But the Democrats...
Barron sounded great to be talking. It sounded very excited to be talking to you.
And this horrible group of people, they have nothing but disdain for you and for your values. They lecture you on the need for open borders while they live behind gated communities like Nancy Pelosi.
Like you.
She doesn't want a wall, but she lives in this very beautiful house with lots of good ice cream.
What?
They support crippling lockdowns.
Again, this is the weirdest stretch of jealousy.
While their jobs remain totally exempt. They keep your kids out of school while their kids and their families have private tutors, right?
Tutors?
They want to take away your guns. They want to destroy your...
Yeah, they have, a lot of kids have private tutors online right now because schools were shut down.
Second Amendment, while they employ armed guards. And it's time...
This is weird too, because this is them trying to turn a weakness into a strength, because he's clearly a rich asshole, so they're turning the rich asshole thing on the Democrats somehow.
We sent them a very strong message, because they're hypocrites in Washington, D.C. and in Silicon Valley.
And in Silicon Valley.
And in Silicon Valley. Section 230 on Election Day.
Section 230.
Not everybody understands that, but we have some...
Explain it to us.
Great politicians here today that understand it. But on Election Day, you can send a message.
Yeah, her eating the ice cream in the Chinatown rant. Yeah, I like, it's such a weird overlap.
To the fake news media right there. To the big tech companies. And to the...
You mean, yeah, friggin' Snapchat, am I right?
Washington swamp, we never knew it.
And by the way, you mean TikTok? This is, I mean, the big tech thing is twofold. One is Twitter not posting the New York Times, or the New York Post story, and then the TikTok story that they're the ones who screwed up his rally, which is a story they pushed as much as anybody else because the turnout was shit.
Be this deep. When I said, drain the swamp, I didn't know it was this bad. But send them a message that they will never forget. Show them that the American people are still in charge by delivering Sleepy Joe Biden and the Democrats a thundering defeat on November 3rd.
The whole, like, getting his shoulder on the thing. I'm a little tipsy.
And if I don't sound like a typical Washington politician...
It's because I sound like a drunk who's trying to pick up you and your friend, but get you to buy him a drink instead.
It's because I'm not a politician.
Yes, you are. You're a politician. You ran for office. You served in office. You're a politician. That's your job.
But I've dealt in politics for a long time. I know them very well. I know them all very well. I've dealt for a long time. I know them all. If I do not, thank you very much. If I do not always play by the rules of the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you harder.
For you. Wow.
Than anyone ever.
He's doing that little sing-song drunk thing. I mean, this is a man who is drunk. This is what do you think his drink of choice is? Because I don't think he's a hard liquor dude, so they're hiding it in something. Are we talking about like margaritas? Those little canned margaritas? Like the character in Evil drinks all the time? He must smell like mothballs. Vodka? Yeah, you think vodka? Does it have... I mean, I don't drink, so you guys have to tell me. White Claws, Zima, ouch. Yeah, he's definitely on drugs, but he's mixing painkillers with alcohol because this has got a syrupy kind of an energy to it. Oh, it's definitely drugs. Well, maybe he's on. Maybe they have him because he's snorting Adderall and all these kinds, getting his heart rate up. So they're giving him something as a downer, and he's getting barbiturates to kind of even him out. That could be it. Good call. Rum and Diet Coke. He claims he doesn't drink alcohol. I think it's drugs. Yeah, no. He has only said that twice in the last year, I think, and he doesn't seem as convinced of its truth as he used to. And according to Noel Castler, he does drink, and it's just a lie.
Thank you.
But it does seem like he's been on a bender for 3 days.
Thank you very much. By the way, did you see Biden this morning? He was very agitated. You get agitated. He was very agitated.
I thought he was very sleepy.
He's screaming at him, and he had nobody in the audience. He had a couple of cars. Did you see it? The honking the horn. I can't believe it. And they don't report that. You know, we got lucky. I think the camera...
Report what? You saw it. You saw it on television. They don't report that. These people don't even report the stuff I saw on the news. I mean, I watch the news every night. I see these stories, and they don't even talk about these stories that I see on the news. This is the stupidest. This line of attack in particular is really dumb. You know, Biden's there. He's on TV. They're doing a speech, and he's very agitated. What did you think you were seeing, like aerial drone footage of him?
Man slipped and the camera went a little off kilter because they would never. Just like we want them to show our crowds, they don't want them. I love watching those circles. He's got those big. They're so well done, though. The best thing about his campaign is the guy or woman that does the circles. No, there's a lot of talent there. They're perfect. You know, I'm a perfectionist, frankly.
Yeah, you are. I can tell by your hair.
I am.
Yeah, I could tell. It's the makeup that let me know. I mean, because what's more perfect than just it all stops here? Do that part, like, because you don't want it to go, you don't want to blend into your neck. That's what they would expect. I'm a perfectionist.
They're perfect. You know, I'm a perfectionist, frankly.
Oh, yeah, totally. I understand how you're a perfectionist. That's, I mean.
Once it was reluctantly aroused. It was hard to get it aroused, and it is hard to get it aroused, but we got it aroused.
I had a beat off.
Yeah, so a perfectionist would never.
We're going to be appointing very pro-crime judges.
Wildlife refuges. I mean, you look at this, you look at what we do with our wildlife.
What could be more perfect?
Yosemites.
Yeah, it's always a good builder. Look at those circles, very thick. And very far apart. I think you got about 6 of them, because that's the number of people that show up. This way he could say, we were sold out today. I'm fighting against forces who want to destroy everything that you love and cherish.
Like what?
People think of
NASCAR? Horseback riding? Slurpees? What are we talking about? For this crowd, what do you think? View of the desert?
Joe Biden is a nice man, but he's not a nice man. No, he's
not a nice man. He isn't. Gosh, I saw that video of him helping the kid who had a stutter, and then the actual video of the kid where his stutter's better, and they'd been engaged for a while. Yeah.
not a nice man. He was never.
Oh yeah, do we have the "I like Dick" clip? What year? Which one was that? Which speech was that? We got to find that again.
And he was never a smart man. He got lucky. He got lucky that Pocahontas didn't quit earlier.
We already said this part.
And he's not a good man. He's a corrupt man. And he took an ad against me knowing it was false. You probably know the ad. It's a horrible, vicious ad having to do with the military.
Uh-huh.
It's a totally...
What'd he say? What'd he say in it?
False, horrible...
False? Sorry, what word was that?
Ad having to do with the military. It's a totally false, horrible...
It was totally false. It's a total... He can't even say it's false. Like his tongue is now attacking him. He can't even lie like he wants to, because his tongue's like, no, you will not. You will not say this is false. It's true. I helped you say those things. I'm not going to help you deny it.
Having to do with the military. It's a totally false, horrible, horrible ad. And nobody has ever done more for the military than I have. Nobody.
Yeah, I bought him a bunch of stuff. Basically, all the money I gave to Boeing, all the vets really need to kiss my ass for that.
And we had...
Just couldn't say totally false. It's, you know, like the Fawn saying he was wrong.
Advised him and his group of dishonest cronies, legally and every other way. We advised them and we let them know. We're putting complaints in all over the place. But he took a vicious, vicious, horrible ad of something I never said. It was a magazine that's an Obama-type magazine with...
An Obama-type magazine? So Obama just types it up every day? Was it like a zine?
Obama and Biden and Crooked Hillary. It's a third, I won't even mention it, third-rate magazine, loses a fortune.
The Atlantic.
And they made up a story. And they said I said certain things. There's no human being on earth, unless they're seriously, seriously deranged, that would say such a thing. And I said it in front of other soldiers. And I have 26, I think, witnesses saying...
Well, I guess that settles it. He accidentally just admitted it.
And I said it in front of other soldiers. There's no human being on earth, unless they're seriously, seriously deranged, that would say such a thing. And I said it in front of other soldiers.
Okay, this is like we're seeing Rick James now. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. We're seeing, you know, the whole, I'm not going to dig my feet into somebody's couch. I know better than that. Yeah, I remember digging my feet into Eddie's couch.
And I have 26, I think, witnesses saying, it's ridiculous.
Oh, that's not saying it didn't happen. They weren't present.
Number one, you wouldn't need any witnesses. Nobody would say a thing like that.
Of course there are people that would say stuff like that. The head of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, showed you the severed head of his uncle.
But we said it never happened. They have no witnesses. They have, I think, an anonymous source, but the source doesn't exist. It was made up.
They have no witnesses and this whatever. It's weird how Kelly hasn't come out and defended you about this, and he was the one standing there.
Made up just like the Russia bullshit was made up. Okay?
Oh, all right. So now we're using my kind of language.
It was made up. It was made up just like the Russia bullshit was made up. Okay?
So it was true, is what you're saying. I mean, that's pretty much that. I would count that as an admission.
So they made it up. They made up this lie, and now it's in television commercials, like I said it. And frankly, if I were a military person and if I saw that ad, I would never vote for Trump. And I told my people, this is a very serious thing. They took a statement, made up a statement, just like they do. This is what they do. They're vicious, horrible people. They made up a statement, and now they put ads in during a football game. I see an ad. I'm watching the game. I mean, I must tell you, I'm not into football so much anymore.
Holy shit.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do at a stump speak. Come out against football.
It's hard to watch.
Actually, really? Because my mom, my girlfriend, and her son were all watching today. They were watching. They had a great time.
I love people that honor our anthem and honor our flag and honor our country.
Yeah, so do I. Not people who hide behind it and use it as a symbol when, for the opposite of what it stands for. Like you do. Okay. How much more of this is there? Stretch. He's friggin' over. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I don't even watch football anymore, but I saw this ad during a football game, which I didn't see because I didn't watch the game, but people told me they ran the ad during a football game, and I was pissed.
You look at the basketball. Did you see the basketball ratings?
Did you see the basketball ratings already?
Very much. Thank you. And you look at the basketball. Did you see the basketball ratings? Final game. Down 70%. Who the hell? I didn't watch one shot. No interest. No.
Did you see a basketball game? It's a fine side. You didn't even see the basketball game. This seriously, this is President Foster Brooks.
Come on, people.
Come on. Here, hold on 1 second. Just work with me for 1 second. Dean Martin. Whoops. Roast. There we go. Just so you guys know what the shit I'm talking about. Since we did Elvis already, somebody's going to tell me they were already watching Foster Brooks 2 hours ago, too. Hold on.
Our next speaker has never met Don Rickles. Oh, that's a lucky guy. But he asked especially if he could come here tonight just to pay tribute to him. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Mr. Foster Brooks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President, Donald John Trump.
Thank you very much. As the Puerto Rican gentleman just told you. I have never met Don Rickle.
It's the Puerto Rican gentleman just told you. I have never met, he means Dean Martin.
In fact, he's probably wondering what I'm doing here. He has never even seen.
Oh, thanks, hero.
He has never seen me before.
I mean, honestly, that's what we're watching. That's I love Foster Brooks. If you want to check him out, please go find videos of him.
But people want to watch sports. They want to watch sports. They have enough of us, right? They have enough of us. There's plenty of us, but down 70%. I mean, in one way it's a shame, in another way, you know, when we had this argument with the NFL 2 years ago, it really hurt them badly. They were down 25, 30%, right? People weren't going to the games. And I thought we won the battle. I thought it was over. Then I saw Roger, nice guy, Roger Goodell, in his basement wearing a blue T-shirt, tight, very tight. You know, like he's a player. It doesn't work. I don't want to have a tight one. I want it as loose as possible. But he's wearing a tight one. He thinks he's all buffed up and everything. Didn't look good. No tie, you know, just a T-shirt, like an undershirt that's painted blue. That's a blue color.
This is a man who slapped Don Jr. for wanting to wear a jersey to a game that he was taken to. They was taken to, I think it was a New York Yankees game. And Don Jr. had a Yankees jersey, and his dad came to pick him up at private school to take him there. And he showed up at the door wearing that, and Trump slapped him in the face so hard he knocked him down and told him, put on a suit. And they went to the game wearing suits.
I don't even think it had anything on it.
No, a T-shirt with nothing on it? Who wears such a thing?
And he said, we've decided,
I mean, in this day and age?
To do this and that. And then I said, there goes the NFL, right down the tubes. And nobody was, this was during, I think, August. Nobody was even talking about it. What the hell is he doing? And here it goes again. Nobody cares about football because of it. And I don't know how many chances they're going to get, but they ought to get smart because they can't win this war. We want people that love our country. We don't want this crap.
We want people that love our country. We don't want this crap. Christ. Yeah, he's pissed that LeBron won. And what he's mad about is that they're helping with voting. They're helping with voting.
Players making $25 million a year doing something he'd be doing anyway on the weekend, okay, because he loves playing football. And if somebody's making $10 million for blocking or $25 million for throwing, and they say what a horrible country we're living, we can't do that. Can't do it. And you know what? I want them to protest. I think if they want to protest, they can. And there's always reason to protest. They can, but not then, and not sitting on a knee instead of standing proudly.
Yeah, don't sit on your knee, guys. That's a terrible idea. Sitting on a knee. I mean, like, here, hold on. I'll give you an example. Like, you don't want to... This is, sitting on a knee is just a terrible, disgusting thing. And I think you can all agree. See if I can show you what I mean. Give me 1 second. You know what I mean? Like, sitting on a knee. You know what I mean? Like, when somebody's, especially, when you're sitting on somebody's knee and it's just like... and you're on somebody's knee like that and you're just sitting on a knee, or even if they just have their knee folded under you on the bed, you don't want to. Sitting on a knee is bad. So let's just agree on that, at least.
With your hand on your heart, and
Trump claims he's wealthy and he's complaining about how messed up America is. What's the difference? It's a great point, Gonzo. Yeah, I did. I'm lying. It's an excellent point that he bitches about the United States all the time. We're a stupid country run by stupid people, and we've done stupid things, and everybody here, and we can't da. And I mean,
contract, they have a clause. You have to stand hand on heart. They actually have, I think, hand on heart.
Yeah, because that's meaningful patriotism when it's contractually obligated. That's why I like. Please don't show me those. Oh yeah, sorry. For the record, I think the best kind of patriotism is the kind that's actually in your contract. You know what I mean? You know, that's how you want it. You want to make sure that it's in the contract so they can really show how much they genuinely mean it, because if they don't do it, they'll be fired. You know what I mean? Yeah.
They don't want to exercise it because they're weak. They're weak people. And
well, that's what it is. Football players are just weak. And don't even get me started on the owners. You know, they're just weak.
Weak people is what got our country in trouble. And you talk about weak, Joe Biden. Joe Biden and the socialists.
Really? He can run upstairs.
Will kill your jobs, dismantle your police departments.
He doesn't have to be drunk to do a speech.
Dissolve your borders, confiscate your guns, and impose a $4 trillion tax hike on your companies and yourselves. $4 trillion. You know what $4 trillion is? That's the largest tax hike in the history. And you know what they're going to do with it? They're going to spend it on the Green New Deal.
You mean building an electric car grid and a smart grid and broadband across the entire country? Which parts of it don't you like?
Conceived by the brilliant AOC +3, a poor student with absolutely no environmental experience, right? They want to attack religious liberty.
What did the dude yell? I'm sorry, he didn't give an extra.
Drive God from the public square and destroy your suburbs. I say that.
Which is basically the same thing, honestly. Isn't God the suburbs? Subdivisions. In the high school halls, in the shopping malls, conform or be cast out. All right.
To the women, because I keep hearing, they said, the women from the suburbs. No, I think the women from the suburbs are looking for a couple of things. One of them is safety, one of them is good, strong security, and one of them is they don't want to have low-income housing built next to their house.
Why? Because of security or for some other reason? Because if it's not for security, if they're not worried about low-income housing brings people who may not be of means and may look at them with envious eyes and choose to steal from them, or look upon them with a covetous gaze and attack them and sexually assault them. If it's not safety and security, like you said, what's the other reason? What is it? Just ick? Or is it because they're black or Hispanic? Is that what we're talking about? Because they're racists? Nice image of the suburban housewife.
And you know who makes up 30% of your suburbs? Minorities. African Americans, right? Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans.
So they'll be okay with it, is what you're saying.
Minorities, okay? People think, is it racist? It's not racist, it's the opposite. I've had them come to me, people come.
What's the opposite of racist? Classist? I don't give a shit if you're what color you are. You're poor. Get away from me.
They say, thank you so much. But they keep talking about the women from the suburbs. I think we're going to have a big resounding, what the hell happened with women to the suburbs? They really like Trump a lot. No. Only vote for me if you're a woman from the suburbs. And, I shouldn't say this because they'll bring it up, but one time, early on, I haven't been doing this that long, right?
Too long.
I haven't been doing. I have guys that
it just feels like forever.
Running, sir, I've been running for 40 years. I said, well, I've only run for 2 years, but I became president. You didn't. But
But seriously, folks.
But it's
seriously, ladies and germs.
Interesting, because I really think that women from the suburbs are going to like Trump, because I think it's going to be one of the big. Because that's it. It is. It is about safety. It is about safety. And when you see what happens in our cities where they run and ransack and they're anarchists. And you know what? They say the suburbs are. They actually say the suburbs are next. And just so you know, so important, these are Democrat-run states and cities. Republicans are doing great. And we're not going to let this happen.
No, they're not.
And we'll stop it. We want a resounding victory. We're going to...
Do we go through the per capita murder rates?
Okay. But the suburbs are next.
No.
But I did say, early on, I said, housewives from the suburbs. They went after me when I said that. Let me ask you, the women from the suburbs, do you mind when we say...
The women from the suburbs. If you're from the suburbs...
Housewives from the suburbs. No?
You don't care.
They're all saying no. But I'll do it politically correct anyway. If you don't, I'll say women. But I said housewives from the suburbs. They went crazy. Donald Trump. He wasn't politically correct, they said, Michael. Biden supports cutting police funding, abolishing cash bail. You get a murderer.
Yeah, right. How does cash bail work?
Well, let's let him out. Well, let's let him walk this way. You see what's happening in New York? What they're doing to New York, our governor, what he's doing to New York is horrible. And he called law enforcement, Sleepy Joe, he called law enforcement recently the enemy. No, law enforcement has done an incredible job.
No, he said they're perceived as the enemy of the people.
You're always going to have a...
There's a difference between, that was the problem, is that they are often seen because of you haven't been able to broom out the bad guys and no steps are being taken to protect people. I don't even know why I'm talking to this drunk asshole.
Bad apple. You're always going to have somebody that chokes. They have like a quarter of a second. You ever see the test where somebody slashes open the door? You got a quarter of a second. And they could be on the force for 30 years. But that's a hard thing to do, right?
No. Those kind of judgment calls happen all the time. They do. They don't end up being the problem. One of the biggest things about Chauvin's case and why it was such a big deal in the death of George Floyd was because it went on for over 8 minutes. It wasn't a snap judgment. It was a constant reaffirmation of racism and bad judgment on his part.
And you're going to have people, they choke. Like in sports, you see it, they choke.
Yeah, it's like a sport. You know what I mean?
People choke. Then you have Jack Nicklaus and you have Tiger and you have great people that tend to choke a lot less. But some people choke and it's not their fault. It's just the way it is. You have a quarter of a second.
Well, I thought Mitt Romney was a choke artist.
To make a decision. Quarter of a second. Think of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And part of the factoring in your decision is I'm wearing a bulletproof vest. I'm armed with a gun. I can back up and deal with this in another way. And
Biden and the Democrat Party have waged a war on police, on cops, and inciting riots. And that's what you do. When you take away the majesty of that position,
majesty,
you are inciting violence.
That's what Chauvin did.
When you allow people to loot stores and you have the police standing back and they want to go in and do their job, and they can do it so easy. So easy means kill them. You don't even need us. Is my Venmo hiding the tip jar? No, the tip jar is just down below. It's over here. It's it's just below to the left side of it. Bring in the National Guard like we did in Minneapolis, like we were ready to do in Seattle, and then they gave up the night before because they didn't want to play games. I was so disappointed. Oh my God, these people are bored. I was. The one I really want to do is Portland. That's going to be so easy. We have to be invited in. The governor doesn't want. I call her. I say, Governor, let us go in. Give us 30 minutes, Governor. But you know what? I don't want to violate. I could, I guess, if I did. But we have. You could violate what? The Constitution? To be invited in. Yes. And ask Republicans around you if you want the federal government to not have to ask states to bring in law enforcement and federal troops into the states. Ask Republicans if they're for this. It's the craziest thing. These are anarchists. No, don't even get started with arguing with Democrats until you've argued this point with Republicans. That would be the easier one. Would love to go in and do something big with Chicago. That's actually a bigger problem. What do you mean, just like open fire? That's actually a bigger problem. Hard. The easy one are the anarchists in the middle of the street. Yeah, those people, you just can't state them. It doesn't really matter if you're wrong. That hate our country, hate our cops. You saw them, they killed this young man, right? They shot him in the street. And a day went by. They didn't shoot him in the street. It was a scuffle between a bunch of like protesters and counter-protesters, depending on which side you're on, which group is which. But it was like a bunch of
Antifa and anarchist link people and Patriot Prayer. The Patriot Prayer guy, in a scuffle with this other dude, pulled out pepper spray and sprayed the dude, and the guy pulled a gun and shot the guy with the pepper spray because he was trying to use a chemical agent to incapacitate him so that he could beat him further. And that's happened twice already. There's another guy who was just charged with murder, and second-degree murder, and he should be. But it was an exchange between these groups of assholes. It's the very problem that this asshole is sent those people in. He argued that the Patriot Prayer people should be going in there and doing stuff, and our people are so tough. That's what he's talking about.
They knew the guy, and they didn't arrest him. Another day went by.
No, they were looking for him.
I called down. I said, "What's
They didn't not arrest him.
going on?" They didn't arrest him. They knew who he was. They knew where
They knew who he was. They didn't know where he
he
was.
was. They didn't want. They would have never. So I sent in our great U.S. Marshals.
Yeah, no. There was one U.S. Marshal with the group. He never pulled his weapon. The two people that shot him were actually localized, deputized people, state and a local deputy.
They were so happy. You know, the law enforcement, they love our country. They were so happy.
Yeah, they're always happy when they have to shoot somebody who's going to kill them. Yeah, it's a great afternoon. I mean, honestly, you high-five your wife when you get home, really. You come in and go, "How's your day, babe?" "Oh, honestly, we went after this dude who's been a fugitive for 3 days. It was sweet. And we're coming up on him, and we're asking him to step away from his vehicle and, show his hands and all that kind of stuff. And he pulls out a gun and he pops a shot off at my partner and almost kills him. And we had to draw down. And I and another guy ended up having to kill a man today. So what's tonight? Meatloaf? That's what cops dream about, isn't it? Though.
He had other crimes too, by the way, bad ones. But he shot this young man right in the middle of the street.
Oh, did he? He just walked up and shot him? Is that how it went? You mean like Fifth Avenue? I wonder if he lost any supporters.
Shot him. You heard the bullet ring out. You heard the people scream. They know
This is like poetry.
who it was. They said that was so-and-so. So
Yeah, that was so-and-so. That's really helpful. Do you have a description of so-and-so? Yeah, he looked kind of samey same.
after 2.5 days, I said, "Go in. Gotta get him." 15 minutes, it was all over. It was all over.
Yeah, because he drew on the cops. It would have been over in 15 minutes if they arrested him, too. He would have been in a car, taken to jail.
That was it.
Yeah, he was extrajudicially shot, but because he drew on them. And those cops could have died that day because they were confronting an asshole with a gun.
It's all over. Here in Nevada, rioters
He was not unarmed. He was armed.
burned the city of Reno. And during the violent demonstrations in Las Vegas, a 29-year-old police officer was deliberately shot in the head while he was doing his job. Think of it. You know who that was, right? You know who he is. Was.
Yeah. Do you? What's his name? You've got written remarks there. It's in your teleprompter. What's his name?
Biden.
Can't remember. You just said it. You just,
while he was doing his job, was deliberate.
Hold on.
The city of Reno. And during the violent demonstrations in Las Vegas, a 29-year-old police officer was deliberately shot in the head while he was doing his job. Think of it. You know who that was, right? You know who he is. Was.
No. Say the person's name. For Christ's sake. You brought him up. You put this in your teleprompter.
Joe Biden.
What? No, his name was not Joe Biden. Hold on one second. Officer Shea Michelonis. Shot in the head. This is June 15th. Shay Kellen Michelonis is paralyzed from the neck down, on a ventilator, and unable to speak. This was as of June 15th. So he was, yeah. Family statement released on Twitter by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Saturday said he is expected to stay on the ventilator. He has been tentatively accepted at a spine rehabilitation center. Family thanked doctors, nurses, and staff at the University Medical Center in Las Vegas for their care and the community for understanding. Again, our family can never express our gratitude for all the support for Shay. We are always Las Vegas strong and so proud of our community. So, yeah. So, yeah, they put this in his teleprompter. Shay Michelonis, 29. I don't know if, let's see. That was the older story. And let's see. Bail set for $1 million for the guy who shot him.
We're going to begin on June 1st. That's when protests in Las Vegas led to 2 separate shootings. In one of those shootings, an officer was shot in the head, leaving him fighting for his life, where he still is today. And in the other incident, an alleged protester was shot and killed by police. Well, today we have got updates on both of those incidents. Let's begin with that deadly shooting. Police say they had seen the victim, 25-year-old Jorge Gomez, at protests before that night. They say he was carrying several guns and refusing to disperse. After police fired non-lethal rounds at him, he pointed one of his guns at officers, and that is when they shot him. We're going to have more on that situation coming up at 5. Let's get to the second incident right now. Metro Police Officer
that guy was an
Shane
open
Michelonis
carry
was
dude.
shot while arresting a person outside of Circus. And we just got a hold of the arrest report for the alleged shooter, Edgar Samaniego. And we're learning that police were able to track him down after spotting him on surveillance video. And just hours before that, 13 Action News' Alicia Patillo was inside the courtroom as Samaniego appeared in court for the second time this week. She joins us live now. Alicia, what can you tell us about that court appearance?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Ross. Well, that bail was set at $1 million, and the judge said simply because that defendant is a danger to this community, this valley here in Las Vegas. Take a listen to what she said just seconds before her decision.
Yeah, I know, Gonzo.
It appears that his presence was merely walking by, taking out a gun, and firing rounds at a group of police officers.
This is the defendant, 20-year-old Edgar Samaniego. He was arrested for allegedly shooting Metro officer Shay Michelonis during a protest in front of Circus. The defendant is being held on multiple charges, including attempted murder with use of a deadly weapon. His attorney requesting bail be set at $100,000, but the judge denied that request and set bail at $1 million. His lawyer felt that was too high, considering his client had no criminal history other than a DUI for possession of Xanax. He spoke about
DUI for possession of Xanax. You mean a DUI for being under the influence of Xanax and then possessing Xanax without a prescription. But okay.
His client and offered these words to Officer Michelonis.
What we're seeing is this appeared to be completely out of character for Mr. Samaniego. It is a tragedy for everybody involved. I think his family recognizes that. Everybody's praying for the officer. We hope that things work out well. That
is he pleading innocent?
Continues to improve.
We are told Officer Shay Michelonis is still fighting for his life, and he's still in critical condition. As for Edgar, well, he's due back in court here on July 30th. Alicia Patillo.
Yeah, and he'll be able to walk into court. Yeah. And so insofar as I know, Shay is still alive. He's just paralyzed. So.
See here, Tom, right? You know who he was. Joe Biden, is he here, Tom? Right? You know who I talked to, because his partners we talked to a lot of the people that were there. I think his partner's here. But I want to tell you, we can't let this happen. They've taken away the respect. You have to let.
So, yeah. Trump didn't care when Odessa PD Officer Zach Owens was shot through the eye by the guy who was shooting people all over the Odessa Midland area. Just remember the Second Amendment to bring this up. Yeah.
Them do their job. They'll do it well. You can't have, remember in Minneapolis?
So he basically just said to the guy's partner, your partner's dead, even though he's still alive and he's just paralyzed.
Mayor ordered
Hi,
the
Katie.
police to leave the premises, right? Seattle, leave the premises. And then they took over the police department. You have that, you're not going to have a country. But
No, they didn't. The precinct was boarded up.
this is the radical left. This is the radical left. Joe Biden will appease the rioters, looters, and anarchists, and I'm having them arrested instead, okay, if you don't mind.
You're having them arrested instead? So everybody's getting arrested on federal charges, I'm guessing?
And remember, it's all in Democrat cities and states, all in Democrats. If you're a moderate
You mean high population, wealthy cities?
Democrat or a liberal, who knows
Yes, I do think Biden will win.
that your party is gone
But everybody needs to vote.
totally off the rails. We are welcoming you with open arms to the Republican Party.
We need you to vote. Please, please, please ditch your party and everything that stands for to come vote for a drunk who's standing in the desert talking shit about California.
Biden's agenda would
Oh, enjoy it, Francie. The way I see it, the documentary is fantastic.
also be a catastrophe for
Catastrophe.
Nevada seniors. Seniors, any seniors here? For years, Biden tried to cut Social Security and Medicare. You know that, right?
Nope.
Remember they used to say, oh, I'm going to cut so well. What happened? I never cut it.
He tried for years. He failed. And that's why what?
Remember they said, I'm going to be in wars. You know, that's my personality. They think it's not really. It is if we have to. I'll be better than anybody else. But, you know, you say, whatever happened to North Korea? Remember we're supposed to be in a war with...
Yeah, no, and they just have more nuclear weapons and a nuclear sub and a missile that can reach the United States now. Great.
With Obama or Hillary or whoever it was, you would have been in a war. Obama expected to be in a war, and it would have been a bad war. Now Biden is pledging...
Samana Yego's attorney said his client fired shots in the air to help police clear protesters. Yeah, they just fall down the guy's spine?
mass amnesty and free health care for illegal aliens, decimating Medicare and destroying your Social Security.
We're seeing this.
While I am president, no one will touch your Medicare or your Social Security, including me.
Including me. I'm not going to touch it. I don't know what to do with it. I'm not
Under my leadership, we are delivering a safe vaccine and very rapid recovery, and we're all set to deliver it. We have the military ready to deliver it. It's going to be incredible. We have a general, that's what he does. He delivers soldiers and delivers everything. This is easy for them.
This is easy.
It'll be
They dropped
delivered
200,000
very
soldiers.
rapidly.
Like
Joe Biden
soldiers
would
in a
terminate our
syringe.
recovery, delay the vaccine, and annihilate Nevada's economy with a draconian, unscientific lockdown. Because, you know, they're finding out these lockdowns aren't working. Look at Europe. They're having this massive surge. They've been locked down. Okay, look at these lockdowns. They've been locked down, and now they're having a surge. Look,
They're having a surge because they started opening up too quickly.
Michigan had a surge. Well, who
Yeah, when they started opening things
has
up.
been tougher than her? She ran it like a prison.
Patreon's
She's like a
assemble.
warden, right? And they have a surge. And
Hi,
then they say
Kenneth.
she's doing a wonderful job. I think she's doing a terrible job. By the way, I know all of the governors. You know, we basically deal with the governors. The governors run their states. We give them the equipment. We help them out. We got them all of the ventilators. We did an incredible job with that.
Well, unless you count the ones that Oregon got New York. 400 of them, actually.
Jared Kushner did a great job. We had so many.
Yeah, big round of applause for Jared. I mean, one of the best androids
He
of
did an
2020.
incredible job. No, but he got these guys from Silicon Valley. Nobody understood. We didn't. I mean,
Yeah, Jenny McCarthy will totally be the first in line for the
ventilators, right?
the vaccine.
No.
I can't wait to see James Woods volunteering.
But, you know, for that, they're good. I have to tell you, they came in. Everybody said, these things are complicated. They walked in like, that's got to be the simplest piece of equipment we've ever seen. And we now have become the ventilator. I mean, we're making thousands and thousands a month, and we're actually giving them, we don't need any.
Yeah, we don't even need them. Like, it's almost as if I focused on the wrong thing and made too much of one thing and totally blew off all the testing swabs and shit we needed.
But we didn't have ventilators.
Thanks, Mary.
We weren't equipped for a thing like this.
We're not equipped.
Our cupboards were empty.
They
The
were bare.
governors were. And I got to know all the governors. Some did a great job and some did a poor job. But when we had our weekly calls with the governors, they would say, even the biggest
starting to sit down in the back.
Sir,
Okay.
thank you very much. Or to our great vice president who headed up the task force, Mike Pence. Mike Pence.
Why is James Woods such a supporter of Trump? Because they both are speed freaks. And I think they both have a thing for underage girls, allegedly.
Oh, did he do well in his debate with her?
No.
That was unfair.
Sorry, that's disgusting.
If that were a fight, they would have stopped it, right? They should have stopped it. I said they should have stopped that debate in the middle.
Right, because why? Because when Pence went back to his corner, he couldn't see which way he was facing in the ring, and they had to cut him so he could go back in.
That's
what
a
are you
great
talking
expression,
about?
right? Boxing, you know, you learn UFC. If that were a fight, they would have stopped it. But Mike was great, and he's done great, and he did great with this whole thing. But the governors would say on conference calls, all 50, usually almost all of them were on.
Yeah, all of them
because
would
they
say.
all wanted everything. You
That's
know,
all they
the
wanted,
cupboards were empty. That was their fault, I guess. You know, but let's say it was their fault. But we had to
Let's just say it was their fault.
help them, and we did. We built hospitals for some of them. We built everything. We did a great job. But they would say, "Thank you very much."
You didn't build any hospitals. You set up cots in a convention
Great
center.
job, great job, great job.
Set up curtains.
Every one of them. And if they weren't happy, we'd make them happy during the call because we had the generals, the admirals, we had great people, and we took care of them. And they'd say, "Great job, thank you very
Till they didn't say something complimentary, and then we denied them materials.
much, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President. Thank you very much, great job. We're sending a lot of gowns to Michigan, goggles to Michigan, lots
Goggles.
of things to different,
100 trillion, I hear.
all the different states. But she'd say, "Great job, thank you very much." And we have it all down. You know, it's all down. Because I think all those calls, I hope they were taped. Hey, could you imagine if we didn't have my call with the president of Ukraine, if we didn't have that transcribed?
It wasn't a transcript. Do we bring up the transcript that says it's not a transcript? There is a transcript. It's on a server in the White House. Secret one. You haven't released it yet. Although you could argue that everything related to the Russia collusion thing was kind of loosely related to Ukraine, so your tweet about releasing everything unredacted includes the transcript of the Ukraine call.
Then it would have been this
Or the actual recording, for that
crazy
matter.
maniac named Adam Schiff with his phony story that he told to the United States. But we had it transcribed. Isn't that a wonderful thing? So I think we have it transcribed or taped. But all
No.
the governors, every one of them, thank you very much, great job, great.
Oh, okay, by the way, we just had a Nixon moment. Once they admit that things are recorded, or he thinks they're being taped, there's reason to believe he would think they're being taped as he's the president of the United States. So now Congress could subpoena the tapes.
Great job. Then they go outside and they see the press. You know, they get nervous with the press. These guys, they make them nervous. We're not very happy with the job the president's doing. I said, he's no good people. But you know what? Someday I'll tell you the story. We had some great ones, and we had some people that didn't know what the hell they're doing. But I'll let you know at the right time who they were.
Okay, he's going to sell a book next year to pay off his debt.
The Biden lockdown, the
And nobody's going to pay for
lights
it.
of Reno and Las Vegas were extinguished. Carson City will become a ghost town. If he comes in, Carson City will become a ghost town.
Really? Based on what? What big industry of Carson City are they going to eliminate?
And the Christmas season
You mean it will no longer be a tick on Reno?
will be canceled. Look, remember I said we're going to bring back
It's like saying the valley will be destroyed.
Christmas, right? The name. Remember? We brought it back, right? Remember? I used to go around saying we will bring, because I saw these big department stores, you know, they thought it was politically correct. So they say, have a great season. I said, no, I don't want to have a great season. I want to say Merry Christmas. Say Merry Christmas. Huh? Now they're all saying Merry Christmas again.
Yeah, they so are. You know who's really saying it? Who's saying the real Christmassy stuff? I'm trying to remember. Somebody.
They say I'm complicit. I'm the same like him. I support him. I don't say enough. I don't do enough.
No.
Where I am, I'm working like a my ass off.
I know.
That Christmas stuff that, who gives a about Christmas stuff and decoration, but I need to do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, nobody really could do anything. You've been fighting the war on Christmas, and with one hand tied behind your back, and apparently it was your wife that tied it there.
Correct. 100%.
100%.
You have no choice. And okay, and then I do it, and I say that I'm working on Christmas, planning for the Christmas, and they said, "Oh, what about the children that they were separated?" Give me a break.
Yeah, classy.
So I just want to introduce a couple of warriors that are here. We're joined tonight by Congressman Mark Armadale. Come up, Mark. What a job you're doing, Mark. He's a warrior. Thank you, Mark.
Name some warriors who are actually just elected officials.
What a great job.
I'm not going to say what a great job to the officer who's there, whose partner was paralyzed, and saying what a great job and you're a hero. It's just like, hey, what's going on, buh? But this guy's a warrior because he's been covering for me in Congress.
What a great job. How are we doing? Okay, we're doing all right here, right? Huh? Thank you very much. You're doing good. Thank you, Mark, very much. We're also a man who's a fighter. But if he loses, I will never talk to him again. And he's the Nevada Republican Party chairman, respected by everybody, loved by everybody, Michael McDonald. Michael. Good, Michael.
I keep forgetting, can't love anymore. Sorry. And I've got such a long way to go.
Look good, Michael. And congressional candidate, somebody that's going to win, and we're working with him very strong, Jim Marchant. Jim, thank you. I hear you doing
Jim Marchant.
good. I heard you leading in the poll, Jim. Get it done. We'll help you. A friend of mine and a man who's doing really well, and he's watching those, he's a very smart guy and respected by everybody. He's watching those ballots come in. I think he's watching every one of them. Attorney General, your former Attorney General, respected. They love him, and I love him. Adam Laxalt. So, Adam, are you and Nick finding any bad things? Anything bad happening?
Tell us some bad things.
Please watch very closely, Adam. For the people, not for me. You know, you're not doing this for me. You're doing it for the people, okay? He's got the most important assignment there is. Because a lot of bad things, they're finding those things in creeks. They're finding them in riverbeds. They're finding
No, they're not.
them in ash cans and dumpsters.
Ash cans.
And large numbers in Ohio, 50,000 were missing.
No.
In Virginia, 500,000 applications were made that were false.
No. 200,000 applications for mail-in ballots sent by a private company were screwed up. They had the wrong return addresses on them.
And in one place, everything was good except for one problem. They forgot to put my name on it.
They didn't put the presidential race on it, including Biden-Harris.
Other than that, it was great. Other than that, it was great. Other than that, they were very reasonable, but my name wasn't on it, and then somehow that didn't work out too well, Michael. A lot of them, too. And then they found some military ones, great military ones, and they were found in a waste paper basket, and they all had the name Trump on it.
Nope. There were 9 ballots that were, quote-unquote, discarded, and 7 of them were for Trump.
All signed for Trump.
Of them. And they were in the wrong envelopes, so the person who was sorting them, who was an intern, was fired, but they weren't at fault.
They were Trump. They were voted for Trump. Unfortunately,
nope.
I don't think they're going to get there because they were in a waste paper basket. Anyway, and the Republican National Committeeman from Nevada, Jim DeGraffeney. Jim DeGraffeney. Thank you, Jim. Great job.
Jesus. Thanks for cheering, Jennifer.
Great job, Jim. How's it going? Good? We're doing all right over here, Jim?
And Cassie, thank you for the gift subs, too.
Good. You're a handsome man, Jim. As president, I've been...
He's been, I'm waiting for Trump to come out as bi. I mean, Eric was the first step.
Delivering for our incredible Hispanic American community like never before.
Let me guess, he's Hispanic?
Thank you, darling. Thank you.
Oh, it's a she. Sorry, I was reading.
I like you too. Thank you. You know, it's interesting. The polls are showing Trump. They're saying, what the hell is going on with Trump?
I think I love when he randomly speeds up, even more when the slow
And
slurs.
the Hispanic American community, right? No. we're at the highest level that they've ever had recorded for a Republican. It's got to be higher, but it's
No, Bush did well.
literally, we're beating the Democrats, who have been all talk and no action. All talk.
No, you're not.
I like.
You're doing higher than Mitt Romney did, but you're not doing higher than the Democrats.
Hispanics. I like Hispanics. I like Hispanics Americans. I'm
Hispanics Americans.
taking care because I'm fighting for school choice, right? Safe neighborhoods and Hispanic-owned.
Yeah, it's weird. He's been talking about handsome men, a lot of big, powerful men, and wanting to kiss them. It's a weird thing that happens when he's drunk. This is one of the other reasons why we think he's drunk, is that he wants to kiss everybody, including the men.
Small businesses. You have no idea how great business people, Hispanic Americans are great business people. I've known that for a long time. Sometimes they say they're too good. They are tough sometimes, but they're great business people, and we've helped them. Joe Biden would crush everything Hispanic Americans have worked for.
I think that's what he's shooting for. I think if you asked Biden, that's what he wants, to destroy Hispanics Americans' businesses.
Wiping out your small business.
Especially the big, handsome men ones.
With lockdowns and regulations and devastating
It always
your
looks odd.
families with massive tax hikes. Your tax hikes. By the way, I never heard all my life, if you're running for office, you cut taxes.
My God, this bullshit.
Who the hell ever heard of a guy running? Here's a guy, and they say, he's tied in Nevada. How the hell can we be tied? How can I be tied with him in Pennsylvania, and he doesn't want to frack?
But he wanted to frack, right?
That's 1 million jobs, and it's going to destroy our energy business.
He's not against fracking. He's against new fracking leases and making sure that there's an environmental impact on them. They don't cause earthquakes, shit like that. Not just randomly allowing them to start doing new fracking leases on protected national lands. I mean, you'd frack under the base of Mount Rushmore if they thought there was anything there.
Independent. They're tied. I mean, what's going on? It doesn't. And okay, so he goes out, gets no people at any of the rallies. I go out, we get 35, 40,000, 25,000, 15,000.
Yeah, you have all the stupid people who will gather during a pandemic. And they're from all over. They're not from, this isn't a section of Carson City. These are people driving in from lots of different places. There were people from Arizona, from California. There's people from Las Vegas. There's people from Reno. They all drove up to see you. They're very excited. They can only vote once.
We go, boom, 15,000. We get the biggest crowds in the history of politics. I mean, I'm not saying, look, everything I say they'll correct if, I mean, they'll say, who cares? I don't even care what they say at this point. But we get these massive crowds. He gets nobody. And
yeah, he would frack on Fifth Avenue if he thought something was
they
there.
say we're tied. What the hell kind of a business are you in, Michael? It doesn't make sense. How do you guys do this? He'll wage war on Catholic organizations like the Little Sisters of the Poor, which we defend. What? Ban charter schools, bankrupt Catholic schools.
Yeah, that's what a Catholic president would do.
We help the Catholic Church very much with our
helping them hide pedophilia, you mean? Or?
We help fund their schools.
Oh, yeah. Well, you help them replenish the money lost by fighting pedophile charges. But you don't actually help the schools. The funding doesn't go to the actual schools.
Fund extreme late-term abortion and empower the socialists.
Just throw that in the mix.
That's what they're doing. That's why we're going to win a record share of the Hispanic vote this November. So, please, right? I got our vote. Thank you, darling.
Thank you, darling.
Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure border in U.S. history, and we are finishing the wall. The wall is going to be very close to being finished.
Yeah, it's almost done. So what do we need you for?
Their new deal is this. Well, I got to tell you real fast. So their new deal is this.
What's the new deal?
He didn't build much wall. You ever see this? They said I read.
Yeah, you renovated huge chunks of the stuff that was already laid out under Obama. Yeah.
You got a pipe that's been laying in the sand for 30 years, a little pipe, and they call that and then we're building this 30-foot wall. And I thought it would be all concrete, and I wish it was because it's cheaper, but the Border Patrol wanted it to be slats. They have to be able to see through it, which...
Why? So that they don't get giant bales of drugs dropped on them?
Makes sense.
Why?
It's more expensive. So there's two things. Now they say...
Because it's windy and it'll knock it over?
He didn't build a concrete wall. That's right. I built steel, and inside the steel is concrete, and inside the concrete is very powerful rebar, and inside that we have wires. I would have much rather built a concrete plank wall.
Concrete planks. Oh, of course, cut and carved from the great concrete trees.
But you know what?
Concrete plank wall.
Built what they wanted. I don't want to, because they wouldn't be able to see through it. So if they can't see through it, no good. So here's their new deal. They got pipe laying down. They got some wooden fence that's like 2 feet. Anything that there's any, if they ever had anything there.
Yes, if they ever had anything there, they had proportioned money for a long time to build up on it. They were using the funds for other things like surveillance, stuff that actually worked. And they recognized that people weren't coming around the outside. They were having more problem with tunneling under the bigger portions of it. And they had people going way around the outside in areas where there's no water, no food, no nothing. There's no way to get through there safely. You'll die because there's too much desert. So they didn't need to build wall out there, but they started running fencing out there in case somebody tried to, they need to slow somebody down
They call
in a vehicle. But
it a renovation. So now they say they did this vicious story that we only built a small number of miles. We're up to
5 miles.
Almost 400 miles. But we had to rip out. We ripped out almost nothing. But basically, they had some areas like where they keep people from walking. They had some little wooden stuff that was all rotted and no good, and anything that had anything on it. So they call it a renovation. This is not. We ripped everything out. We went down 7 feet for tunneling, and we went up 30 feet. And they say, this is a renovation. They'll do anything, the fake news, to demean you. Anything.
No, it was already a barrier. That's the point.
Disgrace. Anyway.
They just didn't need it.
We're up to almost.
People weren't sneaking around that part of it.
4.
They were going around the other parts, going underneath the other parts closer to the border points.
100. Where is Jared? Is he here, by the way? I'd love to introduce him. He did such a great job on Middle East peace. You see what we're doing there? Middle East peace? Where is he? Oh, Jared. He doesn't want any acclaim. He's just a very smart guy. You don't hire guys like this. Well, wherever. He's back working on Middle East peace, probably. He said, I've heard this guy before. I don't have to hear him.
Yeah, that's what you're hearing my thoughts.
But it's amazing what we've done in the Middle East. And we did the exact opposite, the way they've been doing it for 50 years with blood all over the place. No.
Jesus Christ.
Blood in the sand, right?
Yeah, it's a great quote. We're all moved by it. I can tell you, it's just very exciting. This whole angle, it's a biblical thing that they've been told.
The sand was loaded up with blood. A lot of that sand is going to be loaded up with peace.
Biden's party continues to attack our incredible border agents, more than half of whom are Hispanic American, by the way. And they're
yeah, I don't think that's the half they're worried about.
Extraordinary. These extraordinary patriots deserve our admiration, our gratitude, and respect. Right? They have.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be having to carry out orders given to them by a superior that are unethical, immoral, and unconstitutional. Love you too, Jess. Thanks, guys. Welcome. Hi.
Oh, my man, come here.
This is a long one. Oh, they brought Jared out. You gonna kiss him? Do we know?
Jared, how's the Middle East coming along, please? Coming along good. We signed the United Arab Emirates, Mohammed, one of the most respected warriors in the Middle East, and Bahrain. And we have other countries lined up. Even the New York Times said it's incredible. I can't believe it. I said, no way. I'm sure that person was fired. No, it was Tom Friedman. They're not going to fire him. But
it was an editorial.
They said it was incredible. But this guy's done a great job. And you know the nice thing?
Yeah, what's the nice thing?
He wants no acclaim. He just wants to do what he wants to do.
He just wants to
and also worked on Israel, the capital, Jerusalem, right? With our embassy.
Golan Heights.
Great job, Jared. And he had
blood. Blood in the sand is a variation of blood and soil. Yeah, very possibly.
No weight problem that I can tell you. You're so skinny. How do you stay so skinny, Jared? Biden vowed to terminate our travel.
I don't think he has as much access to blood and adrenochrome as he normally does, so he's getting thin.
Bans On jihadist regions and surge refugee admissions by 700%. He wants to let them come in.
Yeah, okay. We did this yesterday, but the level of people that he wants to bring in the 700% thing is back to the same level that came in under George H.W. Bush.
And I want to pay our respects to...
Yeah, he goes to Subway. That's true. Yeah.
President Macron of France, because you saw what happened over there yesterday. What a horrible thing. Radical Islamic terrorism. Thank you. And I tell you, I saw a lot of signs. We're working on some things that you're going to be. I saw a lot of signs, especially in California. You know that we're just Armenians, right? Mm-hmm. No, they're good people. They're great business people too, you know.
Oh God.
For the Hispanic American, the Armenians, great business people. That's great. No, we're working. Where I just left, there were so many Armenians with a beautiful flag. And no, we're working on some things.
Yeah, just working on some things. What are you working on? Because you side with Erdogan, and he sides with Azerbaijan.
Being terrorists, you have great spirit in your country. I have to tell you, people from Armenia, they have
people in your country. These are Americans you're talking to, asshole.
Great spirit for their country.
Their country is the United States.
Thank you very much.
Jared has a tapeworm. Jared is a tapeworm.
But I'm keeping terrorists, extremists, and criminals out of our country.
And in Armenia, where they belong.
We invested $2.5 trillion in the United States military. We have the greatest equipment. We're the envy of the world. We have the greatest fighters, the greatest rockets and missiles. We have the greatest of everything. We passed VA choice and VA accountability for our great vets.
No, you didn't.
91% approval rating.
2014, Barack Obama. Look it up.
We killed the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi.
And that was after you had told the generals you wanted, even though you'd only taken out 70% of the caliphate, that you wanted to go. After we get 70%, we want to go home. Just pack it in.
They were looking for him for years. We wiped out 100% of the ISIS caliphate. We took out the caliphate. And we killed the #1 terrorist and mass murderer anywhere in the world. American troops, many troops,
Osama bin
many
Laden?
people.
I thought something had happened to him before.
Soleimani is dead.
I was like, yay, who?
I withdrew from the last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal.
I'm sure Jared Kushner appreciates being compared to Jared the Subway pedophile guy. Wow. At this point, Jared the Subway guy might be the one who's more offended.
My first call, if and when we win, have to be, you know. We're going against a party. If and when, but hopefully we do. My first call will be from Iran.
No.
Their economy
It'll be from Putin.
Is a disaster. They're down GDP 27%. I've never even heard of that. They're down 27%.
Ours was down 30.
It's a disaster.
Still hasn't recovered.
They will call, and I don't want that to happen. I want them to have a great country, but they can't have nuclear weapons. It's very simple. They can't have nuclear weapons. And I think the first call we get will be from them, and they'll sit down and want to make a deal. We'll make a good deal, you know. But what Kerry did, oh, that's right, we're in Carson City, I forgot. Who said that? Who's the one that said it? Stand up, let me see.
What'd the dude say?
That's pretty cool. Make a deal, we'll make a good deal, you know. But what Kerry did, and I think the first call we get will be from them, and they'll sit down and want to make a deal. We'll make a good deal, you know. But what Kerry did,
They drop a bomb on him? Is that what he said?
Oh, that's right, we're in Carson City, I forgot.
Hold on.
Sit down and want to make a deal. We'll make a good deal, you know. But what Kerry did,
Drop the bomb on him?
Oh, that's right, we're in Carson City, I forgot. Who said that? Who's the one that said it? Stand up, let me see. That's pretty cool.
U.S. just attacked ISIS in July 2020. How are they defeated if U.S. is still launching attacks on them? It's a good Good question.
I
Yes,
recognize
he did say
the
Obama.
true capital of Israel, as we said. And that was something that was really... by the way, you know, when we did that
They always do
and
that.
opened the American embassy in
Always
Jerusalem,
say,
I got
"They
it
told
built
me not to."
for a tiny fraction of the cost. I won't go into that story, but got it built.
Thank God.
But when I did that, every president that ran for many, many, many of the presidents that ran, many years, decades, and they all said they're going to do it. And then they got into office, they couldn't pull the trigger, right? They couldn't pull it. They couldn't pull it like somebody couldn't pull the trigger on that last little putt to win the match. They couldn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, it's like golf. I mean, honestly, if you were playing golf and your putt could possibly kill 10,000 Palestinian children, like that kind of golf game.
And then other guys can pull the trigger and they sink it. I also recognized Israeli sovereignty.
Everything's a golf. Vacuum cleaners are something you see on TV, and everything has a golf analogy.
Of the Golan Heights. 52 years they've been trying to get it. I got it done in 2 hours. And I did more in 47 months.
Still no health care plan, but...
than Sleepy Joe Biden did in 47 years.
Well, that's only because you're against the Violence Against Women Act.
The Democrats are now pushing the most far-left agenda ever put forward by a party or a presidential nominee. Biden doesn't understand it, so I won't bother with that. He still doesn't know what the hell's happening. The Biden plan would destroy Social Security and destroy protections
We've seen this a bunch.
for pre-existing conditions.
I just wanted to roll through the
Biden's
end.
running mate, you know, they want to have socialized medicine.
No.
So, you know, you forget about your 180 million plans that we have in this country that people absolutely love.
180 million. You don't have 180 million plans. You have 180 million people with private insurance. There's not a plan for every person.
They want to have socialized medicine. You go to the hospital, you don't feel good. You wait at a hospital for about 3 weeks. Biden's running mate sponsored
Is that how it works?
a bill to outlaw private health insurance. They want to wipe out the 180 million plans.
Do they? 180 million plans. I mean, honestly, that's the problem I have with getting insurance is that how do you decide? 180 million choices. It's like the Jerry's Deli menu. It's just overwhelming.
Biden vote for
What I have last time, just order that.
Republicans is a vote for safe communities, great jobs, and a limitless future for all Americans. A vote for Republicans is a vote for the American dream. It's a vote for me. It's a vote for the American dream.
It's a vote for me. It's for the, oh my God.
Is a vote for the American dream. It's a vote for me. It's a vote for the American dream.
Yeah, what's the difference? Me, the American dream? I mean, honestly, don't you all want to live in a gaudy, shitty, gold-leafed, new money asshole French, like, I guess, like, King Louis's crown-looking condo in the middle of New York City? Yeah, who doesn't want that? With a trophy wife and a kid you never see and never change a diaper and certainly never see a vacuum cleaner.
We'll bring it back.
Hand job, point.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
And
Yeah.
in conclusion, over the next
thank
4
God.
years,
Oh God, they've started putting in conclusion in there. This was new, like maybe 2 weeks ago. They started putting in conclusion in there, both to cue the audience to wake back up and to get Trump, kind of bring him in for a landing.
we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world. Carson City, get ready, but this whole state, get ready.
Yeah, we're totally gonna have manufacturing out here, dude. You know what Carson City is gonna end up having if they have anything at all? Solar farms. You know who's against solar farms?
And we will end our reliance on China once and for all. It's already started. We will hire more police. We love our police. Thank you to our police and our law enforcement.
You know, the guy asked me, wouldn't even say law enforcement.
And our great firemen and women. We love them, and we really do. We have a lot of great support from the firemen and women.
Firefighters.
Increase penalties for assaults on law enforcement, and we will ban deadly sanctuary cities.
Yeah, Carson City's not going to be a sanctuary city anymore.
The people don't even want the sanctuary cities. Only the politicians like them.
That's weird.
Uphold religion.
Because the politicians get voted in by the voters. You would think that if they don't want those things, then the voters would vote them out. But apparently they stay in.
Liberty, free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms. Second Amendment.
Oh, that's what that is. Unless he name drops it, I always forget what guns are about.
We will save, you know, he put Beto in charge of taking your guns away, Beto. Remember when he was on the cover of that stupid Vanity Fair, which is, I think it's dead. I think it died. But
yeah, Vanity Fair's gone. Yeah, they had their last issue.
He was on the cover, and remember what he said? He was doing okay, not great. But they had him on the cover. They were trying to build him up. It didn't work out too well for him. Remember what he said? He said, I was born to run for president. Once I said that, I said, he's gone. That's the end of him. Anybody says I was born to do this, he is a sick person. What a sick puppy that is. But he.
Oh, yeah? What do you think about all these religious psychopaths that think you were ordained by God? Talk about them for a second.
Put in charge by Biden to take your guns away.
No.
I don't think he's going to do too well in Carson City. Beto's coming to kick your gun. I don't want to start anything. I want you to obey the law because I have to, you know. They'll say he is going to start a rebellion. The fact is that Beto wants your guns taken away. Biden
no, he doesn't
even know what the hell it means. And I'm going to always protect your Second Amendment. By the way, your Second Amendment is under...
Dude, I am now praying the next debate happens. I was on the fence, I got to say, even at the beginning of this broadcast, about the chances the next debate, the final debate actually happening. And now, considering he is drunk every time we see him, I can't wait for the debate.
Nothing has happened, right? Nothing has happened.
Can you imagine? I mean, it's bad enough having the belligerent jerk version of Trump, but this drunk version?
And there's been
holy hell.
A lot of pressure on me on your Second Amendment. Nothing. We will strike down terrorists who threaten our citizens, and we will keep out all of those. We will just stay out of all of those horrible, endless wars with places you've never heard of.
You already said that part.
19 years in Afghanistan. I think that's enough. And we're acting as basically law enforcement. We're acting as police. Now they got to do it themselves. We're bringing our people back home. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might. And we have a military...
Our unrivaled military what? Just what?
Might. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might.
Am I? Our unrivaled military might.
Back home. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might.
Right?
We have a military might like nobody's ever had before.
No, he knows when he screws the mic part, like the might word, then he has to go back and fix it. No, we had might like you would never.
Military might. And we have a military might like nobody's ever had before with our new everything. All made in the USA. And we will ensure...
Now, F-35 is made in 6 different countries.
Peace through strength. We will end surprise medical billing.
They're like...
Require price... You know what price transparency is, by the way? It's the biggest... Adam knows. Michael knows.
It's better than
It's the biggest thing there is. It's bigger than healthcare, in my opinion. And it's all done. It's signed. Price transparency. Watch. Further reduce the cost of prescription drugs. You know what I did? Favored nations. Nobody can believe I did it. You're going to pay the lowest price in the world. And we will always protect...
Nope. Literally favored nations mean everybody pays the same price. Whatever the lowest agreed to price that everybody can agree to, that's what you pay. That's what favored nations is. It doesn't mean whoever has the lowest price, we pay that. That's not what favored nations is. It never was. It never will be. Favored nations, and he knows this, by the way, from cast stuff. That all, like when you do a guest spot on a movie or something like that, and they have favored nations for all guest stars. And if you want to be on it, you got it. That's all they're given. Everybody signs up for that.
with pre-existing conditions. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotism.
When he can't read something, he drops his voice like he's speaking a foreign language and he's not sure he has the correct pronunciation. Yeah.
Patriotic education to our schools.
True patriotic education. It beats the shit out of teaching people to actually respect the country based on reality or behavior. You know, just teach them a lesson about why they should. Don't act in a way they're like, holy shit, I'm proud to be in this country. That's too much work.
We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag, NFL.
And it'll work. Yeah.
And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto.
E pluribus unum.
In God we trust.
How was church this morning?
For years you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great state of Nevada.
Nevada. Yeah, he's almost done.
So get your friends, get your family,
get
your neighbors, get your co-workers, get your boss. Tell your boss, come here, boss. Gotta vote. Gotta vote, boss. Come on, boss. Just grab him and just say, come on, boss. Get out and vote. This is
Just grab your boss, who you call boss. That's what it's like to have a boss. Spoken like a person who worked for their dad's company until their dad died and stole the company from the rest of their siblings. Boss, you know, when people have a boss, you have a boss, right?
Most important election we've ever had. Get out and vote. They call it the red wave. They're already saying they're not happy about what's happening. They know what's happening.
They know.
From Las Vegas to Reno, from Elko to Henderson.
All the way, not from Las Vegas to Henderson. I mean, it's right here. It's like from LA to San Francisco, from Oakland to Santa Monica.
And from Carlin to right here in the wonderful, beautiful, hard-working Carson City. We stand on the shoulder.
No, Sparks doesn't get a name drop? Thanks a lot.
Of red-blooded America.
You know, all the work I put in listening to your bullshit, you can't name drop my namesake city in Nevada.
Patriots who poured out their heart.
I mean, honestly, when I start my weird cult and you know, when I'm really old and I fade into my Reverend Gene Scott days where I mean, it'll be way in the future, so clearly I won't be doing this by live stream. I'll be, you know, a hologram or some shit. But at least, you know, I'm going to move to Sparks, Nevada and build a kind of weird compound that looks like a big smiley face from space.
Sweat and soul to secure our liberty, and we just love our liberty.
Our liberty? Jesus.
Sweat and soul.
Hold on.
City. We stand on the shoulders of red-blooded American patriots who poured out their heart, sweat, and soul to secure our liberty, and we just love our liberty.
Liberty.
Don't we? And you know, liberty and freedom.
Jesus, he said liberty, and so he has to fix that.
With bad leadership can be extinguished very quickly. You look at what...
That's so, I mean, honestly, that goes on, that's going to be on the outside of the Trump Museum, which will be an app. Liberty with bad leadership can be extinguished very quickly.
With bad leadership can be extinguished very quickly.
You know what I mean? I mean, that goes right up there with, you know, a house divided against itself shall not stand. This is, liberty with bad leadership can be...
You look at what happened in Venezuela
you look at what
and
happens.
so many other places.
So bad.
We're just a much, much bigger version. And if we let them do this...
We'll be Venezuela?
You're not going to have it for very long. It's a very sad thing.
Are you going to be broadcasting the gathering in Prescott tomorrow at noon? Yes, but maybe later in the day? Depends.
Election we've ever had. Nevada was founded by some of the toughest
This is the election that's going to keep me out of jail, so you gotta.
men and strongest women.
I don't have time to change the laws and protect my ass in the next couple of months, so you've got to re-elect me. So I got 4 more years to change the entire Constitution to protect myself.
Ever to
And then I'll move overseas.
walk the face of the earth. This state was built by pioneers and prospectors, miners and cowboys,
Why was pioneer so hard to say?
innovators and trailblazers, who tamed the frontier, raised up the mighty Hoover Dam, transformed a sprawling but beautiful desert into a shining oasis, and lit up the brilliant lights of the Las Vegas Strip, which I know so well. Our American ancestors made this into the greatest nation
Ancestors? Ancestors?
in the history of the world, and the best is yet to come. It's happening. The best is yet to
Night,
come.
Lady Blackstone. We're almost done. Cheers. Have a good night.
Proud citizens like you help build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We're returning power to you, the American people. So with your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going
to...
Biromisia. To keep on winning, winning. Biromisia.
I don't read, obviously.
We are one movement, one people.
Oh, one movement. Wait a second. Hold on. Gotta let me load in my other things. One movement. Gotcha.
One family, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the incredible people of Nevada, we have made America powerful again. We have made America wealthy again. Our stock market, new highs. Your 401ks are doing very well. I don't think you want to see them drop 100%, and they will if Sleepy Joe gets in. We've made it wealthy again. We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again. We have made America safe again. And we will make America great again. Get out and vote. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Doobie doobie, dance, dance, party for dance and dance. Oh, and they cut away. They don't even let him do the thing. Like that was. When was this one? October 5th. No, you can't. I'm not jumping back to that. Hold on. You can't not give me the dancing at the end of it. We gotta dance out on something. This is terrible. Hold on. We'll get right side. I'll have the, or somebody will have the. Okay. Campaign. Here it is. Hold on. We'll scoot all the way over here. Jesus. Hours long. Nonsense. Oh, they took that one too. They didn't even grab it. Nobody's watching the dancing anymore. Like they're all pulling out at the last. Like, Jesus. Hold on. Trump dancing. Florida. Oh, yeah. I can't. I'm trying to find. I know it's got to find them. Hold on. We'll just do Trump rally live like that, and then we'll go. I'm sure. Right side carries it. There you go. This one's an hour and 34 minutes. This was the one. Hold on. If they start off where we think it is. Dancing here. They leave. Does he go? There you go. Pointing. And I'm clapping, clap, clap, I clap, clap, clap. And I clappity clap, and I'm over. Oh, and they open the F stop, and I point, point, boop, dee boo, double hand job, wiggle. This is super embarrassing, and that dude can't believe what he's seeing. Did you see that? Wait, did you see that dude? Hold on, that's great. Hold on, back up. Watch this dude when he starts shaking his ass. This is great.
Where they were saying...
Hold on. It's making me auto-start this. Hold on. Watch this. When he starts shaking his ass, watch this guy right here. What? Hold on. We got to back up one second. Did it go far enough? No. Hold on. There he is. Okay. So this is what I do. Watch this guy right here. Watch this. Oogie, doogie, 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 doogie.
Saying anything when Obama...
That dude is too excited. And that, I mean, it's sad when the king of golf carts over here with his big Trump shirt on is a better dancer than the president. Do-be-do-do, and you one double hand job in my face again. Da-ba-do-do-do, when we're leaning and we're farting as well, and we're dancing and we're farting as well, and we're doing all these things, and we're making a noise. Doobie-doobie. There's a reason why they play music in aerobics class, and this is it. And now hand job, point. Point, by, point, thumb, point, by. There you go. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Point, thumb. See you later. Thank you, point, thumb. Oh, that's rough. Oh, there's tough stairs. There's her. And we're dancing. I don't know if I feel like dancing. Point, thumb. Thank you. Hey, do-be-do-do-do-do. Jesus. Yeah, double hand job. Bye. Do-be-do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, the dude who's driving this, like, what the hell is going on? Yeah. This is thumb, yeah. Thumbity thumb, thumbity thumb, doink. God. Bye. Oh shit. That's awful. You know, you gonna follow him out? Is that the last of it? You gonna follow him up the ramp? These are all the people waving. He's not going into the crowd and kissing anybody. I don't know why that is. Oh, sad. You don't know fun anymore. Oh yeah, absolutely. Really uneven hair dye job, wings and ears white. Oh yeah, well it all gets white down this thing. I don't know what it is. I think he bleaches his neck. Ed Sullivan and CBS would have only shown from the waist up for that back when, like Elvis, totally. That's the flossing hand job now. It just, I mean, it looks like, it reminds me of this Dana Carvey sketch. This is what I think of every time Trump does that. Let me show you. Let's see. Hold on. It'll be hard to find this one quickly. So work with me for a second, and I promise. Hold on one second. This is so awful. Hold on. See if I can find the bit. It's probably Dana's best known bit. Not Dana Carvey. It's hold on. Hold on. Yeah, Dana Gould. I don't know why I thought that. Hold on. So let me go. Dana Gould. Hold on. Why did I think Dana Carvey? Brain fart. It's from his special. God damn it.
It's so funny when you live in LA or New York, you forget what it's like to live in America. And it really is true. And I'll give you this example. My parents were visiting, and last February, and I remember that specifically. And I was talking to my dad, just a regular guy. And I said, see, Dad, this is why I live in LA, middle of February. 75 degrees. And my father went, of course it's warm, bunch of queers. And my wife is immediately like, you can't let him get away with that. You have to say something. Like, say what? He thinks gay people give off heat. There's no argument to have. You know, that's the big, if you watch the news, you forget. There aren't two sides to every story. Some shit just is. But you always get that because they have to stretch 1 hour's worth of news, which is about all that happens during the day, and they have to stretch it out for 24 hours. So you get a lot of two sides of a one-sided tale, you know. We're joined now by the parents of 2 of the children killed in the amusement park catastrophe. And in the interest of fairness, a spooky weirdo in army fatigues who thinks dead kids are hilarious.
Okay, that's not the bit I was talking about. Hold on. So, Dana Gould, let's see. This is okay. That there's no safe way to do this. And I'm getting all kinds of horrible. Yeah, this is not good. I got to turn safe search off on this one. I'll find it. But there's a point where like Dana Gould is telling the story about his dad's perception of what it was like when he moved to San Francisco. And he's like, where he wakes up just kind of double fisting as people. Yeah, it's that kind of stuff. That's the running gag. Anyways, I'll save that for another time. We'll just I'll dig it up because I have to dig it up first, and we know this is going to happen again because he keeps doing this thing or whatever. But you guys know what I'm talking about. It's yeah, yeah, it's fairly hideous. But it reminds me of that every single time. But I'll let you guys go. It's been a long night, and I appreciate you guys dropping by. Thank you all for the love, and for everybody on Facebook for doing the stars for the first time. That little thing down in your comment thing is a way you can contribute to the show, which is really fantastic. And a little but at some point, like, I'll bring that clip in. But I want to thank you guys for the support and the love and the gift subs and the cheers today and the bits and all that kind of stuff. I really appreciate it. It's great. Have a lovely Sunday night. I'll see you guys tomorrow at our regular time at 3 p.m. Unless something weird happens, and then I'll, of course, have to just come on and do cleanup. And Jesus Christ, I like it. Every time I think there's like, all right, well, we're getting a habit going. He'll go out and go, I want to announce that I'm going to strafe bomb Iowa, because I'm losing by 2 points, and that's wrong. So to even out the vote, I've decided. Oh, thanks, Gonzo. Hold on, I was getting a stand. Thank you, thanks, Gonzo, and thank you, Catherine. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for the Venmos. I appreciate it. Twink, 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 twink. You just point your phone at that and it works. Thanks for the stars, Robin. Thank you for everybody who's thrown the stars my way. That's a nice new thing on Facebook. It's nice that Facebook is finally contributing after all the hell it brings in the form of trolls. I try to keep them broomed out as best I can. If you guys start really throwing your weight around support-wise, maybe we'll invest in some moderators or something. I don't know how that works. Holy smokes. Anyways, I adore you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Rest well and take care of yourselves, and we'll see you later. Bye. Oops, hold on. Whoops. Work? Yeah, there we go. All right. Cheers. See you later.
Just follow the money.
I don't read, obviously.
Baron is beautiful. Soon it's going to be perfecto. Burumisia. Michigan gave us Motan. We're going to be appointing very pro-crime judges fighting for Iowa values, fighting for Iowa values.
Just looking around here, I can tell you're a genuinely dirty person.
We have that. It's as wide as it can be.
Drop your shorts and bend over, Mr. Babar.
I had a beat off.
Once it was reluctantly aroused. It was hard to get it aroused, and it is hard to get it aroused, but we got it aroused.
I had a beat off.
Soup for my family. Soup for my family. They're not allowed to be offensive, unfortunately.
I had a beat off.
Captain's log.
That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy.
Lion dog-faced Tony shoulder. We're honored to have with us today our amazing Vice President Mike Pence and his wonderful wife Karen.
Oh yeah, a rain. Let me see if I can find it.
The Burmese executives. So these Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese. To me, Corona means Italy.
Feel it to them. Computer board.
When they gaze upon Yosemite,
computer board.
Burmese.